Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Ask My Podcast. Episode 11, in fact. My name is Travis Stockton, at Ray Charlesard, and today, as always, with me is Andrew Crandell.
Hey there, everybody. How you doing?
At Andrew Loves Video Games over there. And we've also got Ethan Newbolt.
Yo, I have to burp, but it's stuck.
Just do it off mic.
Give us a real Soulsbjorn burp.
Yeah, really.
I told you it's stuck. I can't.
It's stuck?
Yeah, it's stuck.
Do I need to come pat your belly? Pat your back?
I was saying belly wouldn't.
I don't know.
That's not going to help.
I don't know. After you're
Is that
not,
what you do with your baby?
Well, after you're not 2 years
pat
old
it-
anymore, I don't know what side you pat. Do you just hang them
I
upside
think
down?
it's still your back. Can you
Still your
hang
back?
me upside down?
We could try.
I don't know. I've never
You both
really
could.
like to get a burp to like pat the back. I usually just pat my chest.
I just swallow more air to try to force the burp out, like make it bigger
I had a friend
than my
in
body
school
can,
that did that.
can
yeah.
handle. Just forcefully expel it. If you're new to the episode or the series, each and every week we get together and just talk about whatever news that I feel like talking about, because I mean, no one really else technically puts together the news, but I'm always open to suggestions.
I know. I need to start putting
If you're
in more
new to
work.
the
I'm
episode,
sorry.
of course
Because
they're
I
new
know
to the
I'm
episode.
probably
It's a new
picking
episode.
things. True, exactly. I know I'm probably picking and leaving off things that maybe you guys might pick or leave off instead.
I don't know. You just always have like a good curation of the news.
I like to think so.
And I'm starting to slowly get better at looking at stuff, but
Looking at stuff is hard.
Looking at stuff is hard.
it really is.
Today, I just wanted to quickly talk about.
What is today?
Today is. Oh, it's at the top. I remember that from last week, August 12th. I always write it, and then it's because I scroll down below the header to get more of the news on the document screen, and
So
then
we need more
pass
news.
right by it. Yeah, so I mean, let's just get right into it. What have y'all played anything different? I have some things to say about what I completed, but I like to get to you guys first. I don't like it to always be about me.
Well, yeah, I've just been playing a bit more Yakuza 0.
Yeah.
It's. I just want to talk about a certain quest that I played yesterday.
Yeah, because those are the best parts of that game. Is all the different like wacky side missions. That's half the fun.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's amazing. So I'm running around. It's Tokyo, right? That I'm running around.
It is, I believe.
Kamurocho. It's
Japan,
like a
yeah.
It's a fictional version,
But of a real place, though, right?
Yeah, it takes on similarities of certain places.
Okay,
I don't think
just-
it's necessarily Tokyo. If anything, it's probably closer to Akihabara or something like that.
Yeah, no, it's. I don't think it's Tokyo specific.
But yeah, it's Kamurocho, but it's an in-universe fictional city in Japan.
But yeah, I'm running around there. I have to like inquire around for like looking, to get information for like the person I'm looking for. But while I'm doing that, I run across this side mission, and it's like these people waiting in line for a video game. And so I talked to a kid there, and he's just like, "Oh, blah blah blah. I've been waiting in line for this video game. I'm so excited. I've been saving up for it and everything like that. And so and then the mission just kind of goes, and I don't come across him till a little bit later. But yeah, so he gets it, and I run across him later. But except this time, he gets his game gets taken by a bully, a high school bully.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And so he runs. So you run and you confront the bully, and then like or when the bully takes it from the kid, he gets it taken from him, and then you got to go chase the other guy, and blah blah blah. That happens a few times, and so in the end fight, you fight this Yakuza gang member who only got the game for his son, and so your main character, was it Kiryu?
Kiryu.
Yeah, Kiryu.
Kazuma Kiryu.
Yeah, Kazuma Kiryu. Well, I was just like, hey, no, you can't do that. That was for a little kid and everything like that. I'm going to fight you, And so he ends up fighting him. And this Yakuza member just pulls out a gun out of nowhere. Just like, fuck it. At first,
Which is the best, too, because anytime, it's rare that someone has guns because guns are illegal in Japan. But they're Yakuza. They'll get them.
Right, exactly.
But it's so funny because
They know the
every
ins
once in
and
a while
outs of the
they'll get them.
borders.
And because of the way you play the game, you just run at this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And usually you take like a few shots. And Kiryu's just like, he gets shot and you take a lot of health. But then he's just like, irons through it kind of thing. He's just like, Kiryu's so badass.
Oh yeah, dude. Okay, so you end up fighting and beating this Yakuza member and everything, and then right as you beat him, the little kid runs up and everything, and he's just like, "Dad,
stop hitting
how
my
are you?" Yeah, no, he's just like, "Dad, how are you?" and everything. It's so good to see you. And the dad's just like, "Oh, whenever the little kid runs up, Kiryu is just like, "Oh, your dad." Helped me get this video game back from that thief, and he's just like, "Oh, I love you, Dad," and everything like that, just I don't know. I didn't see that coming. You know,
There's a
ending the way
lot
it
of
did.
really good quests I'm excited for you to come across. There are some truly memorable ones. It's some truly
And then
memorable characters.
After that, I did like a boy band quest where I had to like help this boy band maintain like badass.
Oh yeah,
personnel.
because really they're like really wimpy and kind of like not sure of themselves, and
Yeah.
you gotta teach them how to be manly. And
Yeah. Oh, one of the things I posted on my Instagram stories last night was, hold on, let me see if I can find this really quick.
going through the stories, pulling up the gram.
Oh yeah, he goes, "Hey there, I'm Tarahashi. My stage name is Sleazy, but I have no experience with the ladies. Never even seen a boob." But yeah, just little goofy
Yakuza.
shit like that.
Yeah, I hope to hear more of your Yakuza Chronicles because I definitely have some stories I would love to talk about, but I can't wait to hear your opinions on them. I don't want to
barely
spoil
just
anything.
still like scratch the surface of that game.
Yeah.
I'm only like 6 or 7 hours in.
Have you started fucking around with any of the mini games, the mini games?
Not yet. I did go back to karaoke, and it was way harder the second time.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
and it's funny too because that's how you get some of the CP points or whatever to unlock
Right.
certain abilities. And there's plenty of things you can do with the game. You're never gonna
Yeah,
not be able to
no,
unlock everything.
I'm excited to like get deeper into that world and go experience some like the mini games and stuff like that.
Yeah, I liked. I spent a lot of time playing. There's a baseball one you can do where there's like an indoor
Batting cage.
batting cages.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's another one where there's a quest involving all that too. But there was that, and then there's the pocket racers where there's the whole like other side game.
I've gotten some components for those yet. I haven't like
There's like
done
10
that.
little side missions where you go and you become like a pocket racing master or whatever. And there's this dude who's like 40 years old who still lives because it's like supposed to be a game for kids. And so a lot of times you're challenging like small children and just like ruining their day. But then other ones see you as like, you're so cool. Like,
Yeah.
it's hilarious.
That's your car's so awesome, mister. Thanks for racing with me.
So just the Yakuza 0 really, and then more Apex sprinkled in. Ethan hasn't been playing.
There it
anything.
is.
Thanks a lot. We got to keep that in now.
Yeah, no, just Apex for me, honestly. I've been a little busy with work and just kind of haven't had a
Bodily
lot of time.
injuries.
Yeah, not feeling so great today. Had a little ER visit just in case, making sure everything's all good. So it's all good.
It's all tight.
Yeah, everything's tight, really
tight down
good.
there.
Doc said I had good blood.
Good strong
Good.
blood.
He looked at it and he was like,
That's some
blood
good
looks
blood.
good. And I was like, cool. So apparently your blood can get kind of cloudy and weird if you have a high cholesterol. So I thought that was neat. And they sent me home and still feel kind of meh, but
That's the
life
pills talking.
goes on. That is the struggle of
You're
the podcast.
still here with us, and we appreciate it.
Yes.
I finished Call of Cthulhu.
I was wondering about that
Got
because I
the
saw you moved
platinum
on.
trophy.
Saw you moved on to Unravel, so I was like, oh, you must have finished.
Yeah, I started Unravel again. I'm not good at that game. I think it's another
It's a
one.
VR
What's
game, right?
Unravel?
No, it's just a puzzle platformer. One of the EA arts or not? No, they call it something else, but it's like an indie, like a more artsy fartsy kind of game. You play as a
yarn
Yarny. His
person?
name is Yarny. He's just this little thing made out of yarn, and the whole concept of the game is you're doing these small levels. Obviously, he's yarn, and so when he moves, he's unraveled as you go.
okay.
Oh no!
And then like your checkpoints are other spools of yarn that you can
Right, so you
spin
can-
up so you can move further. And the puzzles are a lot of hooking your yarn up to things to like make little jumping platforms or to swing around or
As a person
use your
made of
to
yarn,
climb up.
this sounds horrifying and a nightmare.
What's that Weezer song? Something about sweaters.
Oh, sweater song.
Do if you want to destroy
No,
my sweater.
Nailed it.
Something pull my
the
thread.
as I walk away.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played that a little bit. I played it originally on Xbox One because it's one of the things that's in EA Access.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
And it's a very pretty game. I'm still always blown away by how good it looks. Obviously, it's very simplistic and it's just a side-scrolling thing, so it's easy to get a lot of good graphic fidelity out of all that. But it's the kind of platform where it's got like a trophy where you got to finish every level without dying, and I that makes me fuck up more often than I
Yeah.
think I would if I didn't know that was there. So I haven't gotten incredibly far.
Just like overthink like the puzzles and everything.
yeah, or just like I'm moving through it too quickly and just make a stupid mistake or something.
Definitely.
But you
'Cause
said you
Yarny
finished.
sucks. But yeah, I did finish Call of Cthulhu. It was good. It was is weird and janky, and I don't think I could recommend anyone picking it up for any more than $20, which is a little more than what I spent on
Unless you're like a huge Cthulhu or H.P. Lovecraft.
Even
like,
then, like it's gonna go on
fan.
sale. Just wait a little longer.
How much is
So
it right now? It's
can you
like
give us
$40.
like a kind of brief rundown of the story?
Yeah, so you play this private detective. He's been hired by an old man to find out who killed his daughter and her husband and child.
Okay.
Because the police have decided that it was an arson case and that his daughter was clearly the one who did it.
Okay.
Because
but the old man's just like, no, there's something else behind this.
Yeah, he's convinced there's something else going on because of a painting that she sent him that she had apparently painted like weeks before, showing them all burning together, but like someone else causing it.
Right.
And the whole character, Sarah Hawkins is her name. She's been known to be kind of weird, that she has like these weird visions and dreams, and that's what her artwork is based on.
Okay.
And she
Kinda
almost kind of
clairvoyant?
like, clairvoyant or precognitive or something,
Okay.
that things that she draws or paints tended to happen, but near the end of her life, they got a lot weirder and creepier, and she's drawing like more frightening, horrific kinds of images and stuff.
Yeah, things just kind of exacerbated.
Yeah, and so, your character's like a drunk. He drinks too much alcohol. He's on the outs.
Can't be a
and-
good PI if you're not wasted.
he hadn't picked up a case in quite a while because he's like, what's the point, sort of thing. But something about this drew him to him, or the case drew itself to him.
Yeah, drew.
and so you're going to this town of dark water.
Every time that like my name is used like that,
you're going to this town of Darkwater, which is on an island that used to be well known for the whaling industry and stuff, but their laws had gotten passed because they were overfishing and stuff. And now it's just like everyone's broke and poor, and they don't have any work, and they're all drunk. And
what's the
like,
time period we're talking about? Or is this sitting like some
post World War I, pre World War II? I think so,
Okay.
like 1920s, 1930s
Right.
ish, I believe.
kind of depression-y?
I think so.
Right.
Yeah, everyone in the town doesn't want to talk about this family. They live on like a mansion up at the top of the hill or some
Right.
shit. There's clearly nefarious things going on. People seem to know things that they aren't sharing. As you go along, you find out that there's a cult that's been operating in this town, and typical Cthulhu stuff. Like, to make a long story short, this town worships this creature called the Leviathan that is like this giant, like kaiju-sized squid
Okay.
that was like captured and brought in to the island, and everyone was so excited because they were all very poor. The whaling industry had done bad. They're like, we can sell this and we're going to be able to make so much money and still have food to feed ourselves and stuff. They start eating it. It's one of the elder gods, and it bestows upon them this dark carnal knowledge and shit. They build a cult to worship it and try to get other people eating this thing. And the whole concept is they're trying to bring back he who should not be named, which ends up being Cthulhu.
Right.
And the investigator you're playing is known as the truth, or the truth seeker. I can't remember exactly, but everything, you're the crux of all this.
Sure.
Like you're the one who has to go through with this ritual at the end. And this is a game too that actually has multiple choices depending on actions you make throughout the game,
Right.
whether or not you read some of these unholy books and take on any of this
Oh, yeah,
knowledge
now
for
I'm
yourself
remembering
and stuff.
seeing
And
the end. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, like if I'm saying any of that and you know anything about H.P. Lovecraft, you pretty much know exactly where the story is going and what it entails. It is very cool. You don't see stories like this a whole lot, although it seems like suddenly they're going to be like more happening.
Which,
The Sinking City just came out. I just read that there's a Nicolas Cage movie coming out later this
Yeah,
year.
I saw that
That's
poster today on
based
Reddit.
on an H.P. Lovecraft story. Yeah, the poster looks fucking cool.
Which skill tree did you use, if you don't mind?
So like I think I told you this before. There's not really a skill tree.
oh, is that Sinking City that has kind of this?
I think it might be more in depth, yeah,
Okay.
because this one there's skills you pick, but only two of them really matter.
Oh, okay.
So are they like more like investigatory skills, or like
Yeah, so the main one you're
that even a
recommended to
word?
get investigatory. Yeah.
Okay.
The two
sounded
main
odd.
ones you're expected to try to get is one's called Spot Hidden, which just makes it easier for you to see items that maybe you wouldn't normally see. So
kind of gives them like an outline?
even just like a green little
Right.
like instead of like the normal white thing, like here's the thing you can pick up, it's like a green one, because normally the item won't load.
This might be important.
If you walk into a room and it does the skill check on there, it
Yeah.
might not load certain items that
Okay.
are hidden unless have maxed out that
Keen
skill.
to that, yeah.
So like for an example, there was one where it's like there's a door that that you're trying to get into, and if you want to, you can try to lockpick it, but that requires a high investigation skill. And if that's not high enough and you fail that check, then you can't get into the door. But if your spot hidden is high enough, If you go outside into the hallway, there's a bookshelf that has a key to that door hidden.
Oh,
So there's
nice.
basically it affords you multiple ways to get into certain rooms and
So say, like,
find
if-
more clues or collectibles.
So say like if you don't have like a lock picking or you're not like keen enough to look,
you just wouldn't get into that room. And
Oh,
then you
I
might
didn't know if
miss
there was
out
like a
on-
brute force option or something.
No,
anything like that.
if that was to happen, it's not something that's going to block your progress.
Okay.
There's always another route that you will be able to get through.
Okay.
This room I was talking about, for example, you even access later in the game if like where it is opened for you.
Okay.
But earlier in the game, you can basically ask certain people certain questions with the information you have now that maybe you wouldn't have been able to ask at the time.
Okay.
Just the way an investigation unfolds. If you didn't
otherwise
find a
you just
particular clue, you wouldn't
don't
know to
have
ask a
that.
particular thing. You wouldn't know how a particular person is involved in the question you're asking, that sort of thing. So sort of open-ended. Overall, it was good. I don't mean to put it down because like the jankiness wasn't enough to keep me from finishing or anything. And
Yeah,
it's
you
not like it was
platinumed it.
even buggy. I didn't even have a buggy situation. It's just, it's not a polished AAA game that you would go out and buy for $60.
But is it $60?
No, because like I said, I got it on sale for $24, I think.
That sounds like fine price for this.
But even that was with me having Best Buy Unlimited, Gamer Club Unlimited or whatever. So that was an additional 20%. So I think it was actually $30. Even then,
Still in
it's
my
not
wheelhouse.
terrible.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not terrible. And it is one, too, where if you're like me and you beat it really quick, you can just take it back. just take it back. You're done. It's worth checking out, especially if you're real. I'm not hyper into the H.P. Lovecraft stuff.
Yeah,
I just
same. If
like
you're
it.
into that sort of thing,
If you
yeah.
do really like it, you don't get to pick a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of that medium that exists, so it might be worth jumping.
Yeah. diehard fans will appreciate it.
Yeah, but other than that, before we jump into the news, I did want to mention, I kind of mentioned this to y'all a little bit, but because I got my new internet, everyone knows about that by now. I've told everyone multiple times.
Yep.
Awesome internet. I subscribed to a trial for PlayStation Now because we were talking about that a couple weeks ago. I had not used it before because I knew my internet would not keep up well with it. And finally grabbed the trial, had been playing Infamous, the first one on PS3.
Yeah, saw you playing that.
Yeah, which I don't know if I'm going to finish. I thought I was going to grind out the trophies and try to get the platinum, and then I remembered how annoying some of them are. So we'll see. It's also aged quite badly. I might just jump back into Infamous 2 because I never finished that one. The first one's very old.
I remember, that's kind of why I never finished the first Infamous. Yeah, there was something tedious about it. That I was just
I
like,
finished it at the
"Fuck
time
this."
because it was just cool and superheroes and open
Can't
worlds
remember
were
which
new.
one I
but
finished.
now with how prevalent open worlds are and how much better they are,
It's just very archaic.
it's very empty and you're very repetitive comparatively. Although in the grand scheme of things, the whole campaign, even with the open world stuff, is only like 20 hours, which is not
Damn.
a lot.
Yeah,
by
well,
today's
compared to-
standards.
yeah, exactly.
By my 146 hour Assassin's Creed Odyssey run, but yeah, PlayStation Now is running really, really well. I know that is very dependent on people's internet connections and stuff, but I've been kind of shocked. Like I told both of you that, after playing it for about half an hour, I forgot I was streaming a game. That's how smooth the whole thing was. Obviously, it's still the game as it ran on PS3. There's no extra bells and whistles. So when there are frame rate drops, there are frame rate drops. When there are things loading in slow, they're still
That's
loading in
just
slow.
the game.
But I mean,
But there's nothing about it that was like, oh, all of a sudden the picture buffered and got real blocky for a second. And
10
especially
years
too,
plus, I mean,
yeah,
come
and
on.
the cutscenes back then were so compressed anyway that like they're already blocky. So and the game's already jaggy because it's an old PS3 game.
Yep.
But I was very impressed with how it's running
Infamous
right
a launch title?
now. It was not a
No,
launch,
it
but it
wasn't
was
a launch
pretty
title,
early
that's
on. First Infamous, I think, was 2007 or 2008.
Okay.
I can actually double check. I'm pretty sure
Yeah, because only the launch titles for PlayStation 3 was like Resistance.
2009.
Wow, 2009?
May 26, 2009.
Yeah, no, that makes sense because I remember hearing about it in college.
Yeah, so about 2.5 years after the launch. But yeah, PlayStation Now, if you've got gigabit internet, give it a try. Otherwise,
I
I'm
think
not
I
sure.
am.
Yeah, it should work fine up here. Especially, if you have, I technically have access to my PS3, so I could play all these without streaming if I really wanted to. It's nice for the bigger ones, though, to not have to find that extra HDMI port to hook up that extra Ethernet cable and do all that shit.
Almost kill your PS3 even turning it on.
Yeah, even my second one's getting pretty old already. Anyway, I think it's about time for some news. We got
You said we couldn't do that.
I just
That
did
was a
two
different
boops.
thing.
No, it
That was a boop boop. That's a deep,
You
deep.
know what that was.
Boop boop.
Don't give me that
Yeah.
shit.
Beep beep.
No.
Boop boop.
Nope. You know
fine.
what you were doing.
No,
It's all perfectly
you're just
legal.
sensitive.
Months after labor controversy, Rockstar converts game testers to full time.
Good.
And this is from Stephen Totillo at Kotaku. Pretty short article. I'm just going to go through this one real quick. For some background, which this article glances on, there had been some controversy just before Red Dead Redemption 2 came out about working conditions at the Rockstar Studios, and in particular, Rockstar Lincoln, which is the British studio over there. A lot of required overtime from game testers, all of which were contract workers. So they were working contract hours, and just like if they wanted to terminate your contract for any reason, they could.
Yeah.
And so a lot of that fear kind of kept people from maybe speaking up about certain working conditions and stuff. But some people had spoken anonymously, I believe, to Jason Schreier. He put up a whole article about that just before the release.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was. Yeah, maybe it was Rockstar, but yeah, the testers were having to work like overnight and like in no AC in some conditions.
Yeah.
Crunch
It was
time.
insane. Like, I mean, it
They had
just
to check in their cell phones when they came into work. They
Right.
weren't allowed to have their phones on them, which
just cramped areas too.
yeah. So the article, we're going to read from that real quick. Workers at Rockstar Lincoln, the British studio that does the lion's share of testing for the Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption games, are being converted from contractors to full-time employees. 3 sources familiar with the studio have told Kotaku. The move will remove the uncertainty of working on temporary contracts, a positive turn at a company with notoriously arduous working conditions. The changes were set to go in effect on August 1st, according to 2 sources. It's unclear how many people this affects, nor whether it extends to temporary workers at other Rockstar studios. We hoped to get more details from Rockstar itself, but a company rep has declined to comment. This nevertheless appears to be an improvement at a studio where full-time and contract workers helping make Rockstar's biggest games felt the brunt of the company's crunch culture. Last October, a Kotaku report about the development across Rockstar's numerous studios highlighted Lincoln as one of the toughest places to work. A Lincoln employee had told us that the testing team had been working mandatory overtime for a year, and Rockstar confirmed that testers had been asked to work on evenings and even weekends. The contract workers had it rough, a source explained last October. Quote, a large amount of the staff are on a rolling temporary contract and live in the hope that they will be extended and able to pay their rent as the end of their contract approaches. I don't feel like anyone is comfortable speaking out in the hopes that they can be extended long enough to be made permanent. Staff are often reminded how lucky they are simply to be working for Rockstar. Kotaku had also reported last year that testers at Lincoln weren't allowed to keep their cell phones at their desks and instead must keep them in lockers. This policy, a source now tells us, has been rescinded. One source told Kotaku last week that attrition at Lincoln has been high, speculating that the impact that negative press about Rockstar's labor practices last year may have combined with a high level of worker burnout to result in this policy change. Rockstar is also experimenting with flex time, 2 of the sources said, allowing workers to shift when they do their assigned work hours.
I good, absolutely good. It just blows my mind that to treat people that have to play, you know, well, because they're not playing like the end version of the game. They're playing that game from buggy ass start to buggy ass end. You know?
They're not
like,
playing.
Yeah, they're
working.
testing that game.
Yeah.
And they're having to take like detailed notes that whole time, you know, to give to programmers and developers, you know, so they can fucking fix it. And it just blows my mind that you're just treating people like that.
Yeah, I don't think most people really understand what game testing entails.
Yeah.
You're not, like I said, you're not playing the game.
You're there to break it.
Yeah, you're there to
Exactly.
break it. You're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and changing tiny little variables. Again, like you said, note taking throughout all of this, seeing, okay, well, I did this way at this time and this way, and it didn't break. But when I did it this time and this way, that had an issue, and then this one caused a crash. Like there's an infinite amount of permutations, and we see it all the time when we complain about a game coming out and needing a day 1 patch, and then it's still buggy, and that's just because of how big games are these days. Think about a game the size of Red Dead Redemption 2. That's
Yeah.
a 100-hour open-ended, like open world campaign. If you're rushing,
Yeah.
If you're rushing, it's 100 hours
Only 100.
with an online mode that is still in beta, still
Yep.
being updated, still being tested. And
yeah,
No,
honestly,
I think it just came out of beta.
Nah, the
I
screen
think we talked
still
about that the
says
other day.
beta.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
So,
it's never leaving beta.
honestly,
let's be honest.
This
Just
is
like
not
Fortnite's
good.
still in beta.
Just like Google.com, you know how long Google search engine was in beta?
Yeah.
about 15 years.
Yeah, this is not good. This is nothing new. This is a corporation or big business, big whatever you want to call it, doing something bad that they thought they could get away with. They got bad press, bad PR, and now they're just backtracking and trying to make it okay. Like,
Yeah.
This is nothing. It's not going to change. Like, they're still going to do it. Other people are going to do it. They're going to get away with it, and then they're going to speak out, and it's going to go backwards again. Like,
Well,
it
what's
just
nice and also what's sad is that like
it
at
just
least we're
happens.
getting people that are taking the time
Yes.
to whistleblow on it.
You're right.
Yeah.
Like I and we see this a lot too. I
Not
even
all
read the other
heroes wear
day
capes.
that people were kind of talking about, oh well, I mean, that's great that like people like Jason Schreier are doing this kind of reporting, but do we have to hear about it all the time? It seems like every other week we're getting a new
Exactly.
story.
Yes, we
and I'm like,
do.
yeah, we do, because that's the way that these things get changed. Like I said, like now they can have their fucking phones next to their desk. They don't have to miss a call that's their wife
Exactly.
telling them their child's being born right now.
That's
They don't
literally
have
what
to
I was thinking.
find out that their house burned down 2 weeks after the fact because
Yeah,
they've been
sure.
sleeping in the studio since
Right.
then. Like little, like having your phone on you. That's not like, obviously there's worry of like leaking things or
Yeah, I get why, but
trying
sure,
to
you
get
can
your
do
5
other
seconds of fame
stuff
or
for
whatever.
that.
But yeah, exactly. There's,
Yeah, no, I mean, working weekends and nights, okay, wah. I get if that's not in your contract. Sure, that's not something you should have to
well, when
do.
they say weekends and nights, they're talking about people that come in at 8 a.m.
Right,
they
I
leave
get
at
it.
8 p.m. if they're lucky, 6 days a week.
I'm just saying,
And then they shut
a
off
little
the
extra
AC.
overtime, sure. But yeah, to the extreme and being treated like second class citizens or not people at all, just workhorses. That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's not going to change. It's going to do. They're going to do it again. Not necessarily Rockstar, but
Oh no, Rockstar will probably keep doing it because these
Yeah.
companies are so big.
Yeah, they're
these
so
projects
big.
are so big.
Yeah.
You see things like this, like Red Dead Redemption 2 was made by like 4 different Rockstar studios.
over how many years? Like,
It was in development for like
yeah,
5 or 6. I
It's just
think
that amount of time. There's so much time for stuff to happen.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's interesting, and it's one of those things where we're not the people that are going to be able to solve this problem, obviously.
No.
but
corporate level problem. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
but
an industry.
people should
issue.
absolutely keep reporting on it and keep
Yeah.
talking about it because
Absolutely.
bravery. Yeah,
eventually it will hit your stock prices. Eventually it will maybe warn off some of the bushy-tailed, bright-eyed
Yeah.
kids coming out of college from
signing up.
deciding, oh, I'll give anything to work at Rockstar Studios or whatever. Maybe it's not worth it. Maybe you can get that programming job at a
Yeah,
nice
if you're
startup.
talented,
Yeah,
Or
it's not
something
a,
some
instead.
cool indie or some cool indie
if you're
game.
talented, you have skills. It's not a privilege for you to work at Rockstar. Like, yeah, sure, it's great that you got that awesome job, but if you're talented and stuff, it's a privilege for them to have you. You
Yeah.
know, don't undersell yourself if you've got that skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though on the other token, if you get a game out that has your name on it at the end and Rockstar Studios on the box, you're guaranteed any job you ever apply for after that.
I mean, yeah, true.
I've heard that
That's-
story a
that's
lot.
True.
That like people
Really?
that's
Their
a lot of the
name
reason
travels,
why
yeah, I
they
mean-
put up with the overtime and stuff is because if I get my name in the credits at this on
I can
on
do
Red
whatever
Dead
the fuck I
Redemption
want.
2,
Yeah.
And that's why
no
that's
one
true.
will
true.
turn down my next like employment opportunity.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like nights, weekends, okay, but taking away your phone, like, yeah, that's wrong. But Saturday, okay, big deal.
Next up, this one made me happy.
What you got?
Sure made you guys happy too. Part 2 of our loot box discussion starts right now.
Oh, boy.
Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft to require loot box odds disclosure. ESA says platform holders will roll out a new policy that would apply to new games and updates that add loot box features. So the gist of this one is that going forward, starting in 2020,
The big.
oh, I'm sorry, by the end of 2020, because it takes a little time to roll all this stuff out. You will not be able to release a game on a Nintendo platform, a Sony platform, or a Microsoft platform that has loot boxes of any type without disclosing all of the odds.
Your percentage
Good.
information.
So up to this
basically.
point, yeah, it's been kind of like just developers or publishers deciding they want to do it. No one's been forcing them, except in certain countries. I think that we require I think China is a big one where you're required to put the odds on any of this stuff. And now going forward, that's going to be a worldwide thing, and it's going to be required to publish on those platforms. So that's next gen consoles, that's Switch. Doesn't look like it's going to apply to games that are already out. And
no retroactive, like
yeah, it's not retroactive or anything like that.
no patches to change it.
So far, the list of publishers publishers and developers that have signed on to agree to this essentially, which I don't know how many are going to say no.
Right,
and then
eventually
just
it has to be everyone, right?
Switch
Yeah.
to PC only because you don't want to tell people that how fucked they're getting on their loot boxes. The list includes Activision, Blizzard, Bandai Namco Entertainment, Bethesda, Bungie, Electronic Arts, Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony Interactive Entertainment, Take-Two Interactive, Ubisoft, Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment, and Wizards of the Coast. Some notable ESA member publishers who have not made such a commitment include 505 Games, Capcom, CL Games, Deep Silver, Disney Interactive Studios, Epic Games, Focus Home Entertainment, Gearbox Publishing, Gung Ho, and Television Entertainment, Calypso, Konami, Magic Leap, NCSoft, Natsume, Nexon, Rebellion, Riot Games, Sega, Square Enix, THQ Nordic, Tencent, and Marvelous.
Is that just maybe because they don't necessarily use loot boxes also?
Could be, except we know that Square Enix does. We've seen loot boxes in
Blizzard does.
as recently
Blizzard
as their
was one
Tomb
that
Raider
signed on,
games.
though.
Yeah, Blizzard does, but they already said Epic Games does. The Fortnite's got the goats,
Oh, I guess I didn't hear you
loot
say
goats.
Epic.
Llamas.
I meant some of them don't use loot box. Not
Yeah.
obviously not all of them.
Gearbox does because of the Borderlands games. Konami probably because all their shit is pachinko machines and stuff these days anyway. No, Riot Games, it's going to be League of Legends and all that stuff, so they definitely have them. Square Enix, I said Square Enix already.
But this could all just be like most of this
could just be this
an eventuality.
Actually, okay, so update down here at the bottom. THQ Nordic has said through Twitter that it didn't make a commitment because it was not asked for a statement
Right.
by the ESA before the announcement was made, adding that it has no games using loot box mechanics and doesn't plan to introduce any.
Yeah,
So,
so
there you go.
Bingo.
Some of these people could have just been.
We don't need to do that
No
because
one
we're
said
never
we were
going to.
supposed to make a commitment, so
You didn't ask.
You didn't ask
yeah,
us.
like fuck you.
making us look like the bad guys.
Yeah.
GameIndustry.biz.
We
Brendan
didn't ask
Sinclair.
any of these people, but they all said they weren't going to do it.
Shame on you, Brendan.
So
Just kidding. I'm sure Brendan's a great guy. But yeah, that's good. I think that's if we're gonna be stuck with these fucking microtransactions, the least they could do is say what you're getting.
yeah, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah,
like
it
Apex
is
has
best
it,
they
so
can.
it's whatever.
Next up, we got Final Fantasy 14 developers plan to condense the base game's main story.
Yeah, they've been talking about this for a little while.
Yeah, Square Enix is working on condensing the main scenario quest for Final Fantasy XIV's base game, A Realm Reborn. The development team announced Wednesday during a live-streamed update. The Japanese language live stream, the 53rd live letter from the producer, was translated in English by a Square Enix forum community rep.
They always
Realm
do that.
Reborn is known to have a story that can become a bit of a slog at times, especially the line of quest between the main part of the story and the start of Heaven's Ward. The translation notes that the team said it's working on making it more compact alongside the New Game Plus system, which I had not heard about. I wonder what that's all about. You'll have to tell me. But there are no details on what this exactly means. This update will come with patch 5.3, which is months away.
Yep.
And then they got some other details about what else was talked about is coming in patch 5.1.
They have reoccurring live letters where it comes out in Japanese and then the community translates.
Yeah.
It's normal. Yeah, but yeah, it's cool. I mean, they've talked about this for a long time because I don't know if you've gotten that far in the main story.
When
yet.
I read this, I was thinking I'm not at a slog point, but it's saying it's mostly the final stretch
end.
to
Yeah.
Heaven's Ward.
Yeah, because
that was just post update stuff where it's like, hey, Heaven's Ward's coming out. Here's a few extra scenarios.
They finished the main story quest of like A Realm Reborn. They didn't have any else where to go until the next expansion. So it was kind of just a drag on of extra whatevers and stuff. They didn't really have a lot of direction yet like they do now, where it's like they have a fucking equation and they know what to put in.
Yeah. Yoko Taro at the wheel.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Got plenty of stories. Tell me about the New Game Plus system.
So it's not in there yet, as far as I know. I think this is what it's going to be. Is they're going to do the new compacted story as the New Game Plus, and that's what it's going to be. They talked about this before Shadowbringers dropped, that it was going to be like a later on content patch, and yeah, as far as I know, it's not ready yet.
Because the way we think of New Game Plus is
You start all over.
I beat the game, I start
with all
over,
your
but I
stuff.
carry my character.
So I think
or
what
whatever.
it might be is like, since most people that are the level cap right now, or 80 or what have you, even in the upper 70s, they've done that main story quest line. So there's no reason to do it again because it sinks you down levels. You don't get it. None of the gear that you get from it is any useful.
So you can replay them?
No, that's what I'm saying. You could do like not the quests, but like the dungeons that go with them and stuff. But
Yeah.
that's still low level stuff. I would assume you're going to be able to redo this new compacted main story quest line with all of the equipment and
for people
and
that maybe
stuff.
haven't done it for years, and just to re-explore it.
Well,
if
there's
even crank up the levels,
if there's new versions of the main story quest line that's like it's been altered, that's technically new content.
That makes sense.
Everybody wants new content, so of course you'd go back if
it's like playing
new.
a remaster.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited for this. I'm interested to see what the final decisions and what they do with it are. Yeah.
I don't know. Is this a dumb comparison? I was gonna say, is it kind of like the Division 2, like whenever you beat the main game and then there's like the whole new faction comes in?
Yes,
and
super
it gives
dumb.
you what?
No, I was joking. It's not dumb.
No, I mean it's any kind of
It just
like
gives you more
continuation.
it gives you more initiative to keep playing and going back.
And then unfortunately, unless I'm wrong about all of that, and New Game Plus is actually currently in the game, in which case I'm sorry.
No, it's not. He said that,
but I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
5.3.
5.3.
Yeah. And that's I can't believe. I mean, 5.0 was the expansion.
The
Can't believe we're already in that we're already that many patches. Like it doesn't seem like a lot, but it is.
They're a well-oiled machine.
Oh,
over
they're
there
rocking it out right now. 14
Business Division 2, is that the one?
14.
We labeled all that out one day. I found like that awesome blog post. It's like, here's what everyone at Square Enix does.
Yeah. 14 is killing it right now.
Yeah. Next up.
Yep.
Discord's new Go Live feature will let users stream games to up to 10 friends. And this feature will go live on August 15th.
So just like stream, but not like interact or play or anything.
Yeah, what?
Well, let me tell you all
You're right.
about it.
I interrupted
This
you.
is
I am
from Austin
so sorry.
Goslin over at Polygon.com.
Thank you, Austin.
Gosling?
Goslin? I'm sorry, Austin, for butchering your name
Stay
or
weird.
nailing it.
Stay weird.
Yeah,
Austin.
you
Either
never
way.
know, right?
Discord's newest feature, called Go Live, is something like a middle ground between live streaming to the entire internet and playing a game with your friends on the couch. The new feature, which Discord announced on Friday morning, will allow users to stream their gameplay directly to friends using the Discord client. The feature is set to roll out August 15th. Go Live is an extension of Discord's current screen sharing feature, which is available as part of the service's private voice calls. Unlike the private calls version, however, Go Live will require game detection to activate. You didn't like that beer, buddy?
No, he
It tastes like weed.
It's hoppy.
Yeah.
They even look like weeds. This means that rather than simply screen sharing, users can only broadcast to viewers while running a game, and only the game will be shown to viewers. So instead of broadcasting your whole desktop, it'll just stream the game that you have open.
That sounds kind of
So
cool,
it's
especially. Sorry,
Go ahead.
No, please, Drew. Actually, I'm gonna drink this water.
I'll go ahead. Go Live broadcasts will only be available to users currently in the same Discord voice channel as the stream's host. Each Discord Go Live stream can host up to 10 people, including the streamer themselves. Discord Go Live can be activated or deactivated at any time, either through Discord's desktop app or while playing a game directly through the in-game overlay. The streams themselves will automatically be broadcast to viewers at 720p. However, Nitro Classic, which is one of the subscription services, will have the option to upgrade their streams to 1080p, while standard Nitro users will have the ability to stream at 4K. Some users will begin getting access to Go Live beginning August 15th, and the feature will be available to everyone over the course of the next 2 weeks. Yes, Ethan.
I just want to say, so this would be perfect for like something that we want to do. Like we don't necessarily have a huge viewer following for our Twitch channels, so like just to show
That would
our
be cool.
buddies.
Well,
this
it'd
would
be good
kind
for,
of be.
say you're doing something like any of those like Until Dawn or
Yeah.
any of the Telltale games that don't necessarily have the stream feature or whatever, where you could have the thing pop up and then you and your buddies can all be like over voice chat, oh, which option should we pick? Like what choice are we going to make or whatever.
Oh, okay.
If y'all were all like, say if we wanted to play the new Dark Pictures Man of Medan, which I have pre-ordered and we're going to be playing at some point.
Nice.
If we weren't all in a room together, we could stream that and then again, yeah, better for us, but also not necessarily necessary.
So-
because we don't have 100,000 people all yelling into a chat at the same time. Plus,
Oh,
you
it's
have the
to
voice
get away
features.
from that.
Potentially.
Oh, okay.
I mean, plus you could
It's a way
capture
more
this whole
personal
thing. You
stream.
could capture the audio that's happening in the voice chat. Still use that.
Well, think
as a way
about
to
it
do
too.
Let's
You
Play or
could like
whatever.
this
Kinda
is
neat.
cool for content creators as well because you could use this as like a Patreon tier. You could be like,
Oh,
hey,
absolutely. Yeah, like a private, hey, sign up and
Right.
I'll pull you
Yeah.
into one of
We
these
can
games.
play together.
We'll bring you into our
so,
voice channel.
So, but
and-
like what
yeah,
you're
that
saying,
would be really cool.
like I guess to kind of simplify, so it's basically like say like I'm streaming and then you guys would join in. We're all in a voice chat together, but I'm still the only one playing, and you guys are just like kinda playing
There's
together.
it's not the share play PS4 feature or
Okay,
anything like
yeah.
that. So there's definitely some games.
I think that's a really
you
cool
could think
fucking
of.
feature. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wish they didn't make you pay to get more than 720p video quality though.
That's true.
So yeah, but it's just a free.
You think they should, at this point, 1080p should just be standard.
1080p should be standard.
Wow,
it really
that's
should.
really elitist of both of you.
Eat my ass.
No.
Next up, Crate's leaving Rocket League later this year. So even though Psyonix didn't respond to the ESA when they asked them if they were going to be dirty bastards with their loot box odds or not, Psyonix got right out ahead of it and said, you know what, we're getting rid of loot boxes.
We're doing you one better.
Here at Psyonix and Epic Games as a whole, maybe not Epic Games as a whole.
Yeah, definitely not
We are
Epic
dedicated
Games.
to creating the best possible experience for our players all over the world. In pursuit of that goal, later this year, we will remove all paid content, randomize crates from Rocket League, replacing them with a system that shows the exact items you're buying in advance. This is similar to changes implemented earlier this year by the Fortnite Save the World team, but not the main Fortnite team. I added that part.
So is there a Fortnite, like they still have it in certain Fortnites? I've watched Fortnite. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Back in the day, Fortnite was a game called Fortnite Save the World.
Oh yeah,
it was not the battle royale thing.
The zombie rush.
Yeah, you
thing,
fight the zombies, and you have a few seconds to gather materials, build up your
and you
shit.
build traps.
Yeah,
and
you know
it's
what
like
the
build
building
forts
mechanic was made for?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone forgets that. Yeah, battle royale is like a separate
I
game
remember
mode from
when
Fortnite proper.
when they announced it. I think it was at that E3 or whatever conference it was, and I was excited for it. And I remember we were hanging out at
You would be. It looks like your kind of fucking game.
God
Hey,
damn.
let's do nothing for 3 hours. That sounds like
Somebody's
fun.
shooting at me. Build.
Let's play some Minecraft. Let's play Dragon Quest Builders, guys.
I actually hate Minecraft.
I don't
like Minecraft at all.
I've never really gotten to play Minecraft.
I remember I had friends into it, and like I remember I came over to a friend's house probably almost 10 years ago. Well, maybe not 10 years ago, probably 7.
Punched a trees to
and we
get
were playing
the
on we were playing on the 360. And he was like, "Hey, you want to play Minecraft?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've never played this. I don't know what the hype is." And we just sat there and cut
punched
down
the trees to
trees
get
and
the wood.
build a base. And I was like,
Did
cool.
nothing for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
Drew's perfect Sunday night. Next up, Infinity Ward had a nice little cover story in Game Informer this month, all about Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the 2019 game, not to be mistaken with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the game from like 2006, and also not to be mistaken with Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. The remaster of the game from 2006 included with the
Infinity War.
the Infinity War, fucking super duper edition of Infinite Warfare. The big news in this one was that they announced the Ground War game mode, which is going to be a 64-player mode.
So they're finally going full Battlefield.
Basically, yeah. This reads like it's just the Battlefield map game
yeah,
type.
exactly.
I mean, that was cool though. That was always the game mode I played. Was just the big in Battlefield.
Oh yeah,
Battlefield.
Conquest.
Yeah, because
It's
Call of
basically
Duty's never
that.
had this.
It's the most. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But in the
You've
other
got
one, yeah.
giant maps.
Just
You've
a
got
big- yeah.
actual vehicles now, which they're supposedly taking some of the features and stuff they had from Blackout, which was Black Ops 4's
Oh, yeah,
Battle
yeah.
Royale mode
That's
last
cool.
year. You're going to have control points across the map, helicopters, ground vehicles, that kind of
I think
shit.
Battlefront also has this. Don't they have a 64?
Yeah. Well, because Battlefront's basically just a reskinned Battlefield. The new 2 ones are
yeah,
anyway.
it's-
Yeah, it's made by DICE and everything. So this is cool. I'm actually really looking forward to this. This is shaping up to be like one fucking awesome Call of
Yeah,
Duty.
I'm really looking forward to this,
I
honestly.
still won't pre-order it.
Oh, I'm not pre-ordering, but I buy almost every Call of Duty these days because I love it. The very least, I'm going to play the campaign.
Yeah.
And I still say that Infinite Warfare was like the best campaign they'd had in years. That campaign gets not nearly enough respect as far as I'm concerned. I thought it was awesome.
Really? Well, I mean, again, but then at that point for the Call of Duty series, most people weren't concerned about the campaigns.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for a while they haven't been. Ever since I'd say Modern Warfare 3.
3, yeah.
That was, and then of course with the Black Ops games, like no one even played the fucking campaigns for those. It was all just multiplayer and
Oh
zombies.
no, yeah, whenever I played Black Ops 1, it was definitely I was only multiplayer.
Yeah, but this looks like it's gonna be fucking awesome. This game mode sounds really cool. I like the idea of like a bigger 32v32 match type. I love the Battlefield games. Those are always fun to play for a little while. It just kind of. I don't want to say they get old. I think I just suck at Battlefield.
No, I totally just suck at Battlefield.
Whereas I feel I'm a bit more competitive in something like a Call of Duty.
Well, yeah, you want to know why I suck at Battlefield? Bullet drop.
Oh yeah, I mean that's definitely part of it for sure.
Yeah.
It's hard to snipe. Sniping's hard. Real sniping's hard.
Physics is
I
hard.
prefer this good old fashioned point and click.
Yep.
I point at the thing gets shot, I win.
Thing dies.
Yeah. Let's see here. What do we got next?
What do we got next?
What do we got next on the document?
What do we got next?
Next, we got solos are coming to Apex Legends in this limited time event running from August 13th to August 27th. Boys, you finally got what you wanted.
That's a lot of days.
I never really wanted solos.
Did you?
I wanted duos.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
God damn it, Respawn.
Just because I don't have enough
Listen to the
confidence.
people.
Give the people
Us.
what they
I don't
want.
have
Meaning
enough
me anything.
confidence in myself just to do it all by myself. I've never won a game by myself.
See, though,
So it's never going to happen.
the trick
you
is
know?
that the balancing is going to be awful with this. So you just have to play enough games to figure out who's the best solo player.
Well, like I was telling Ethan a couple days ago, I came across this meme on the Apex Legends subreddit where it was just like the game whenever solos launch, and it's just a bunch of Pathfinder ropes around the map.
Yeah, exactly.
Because how is he not going to be just
Everyone
like the best
Pathfinder
character?
and Lifeline.
I was going to say,
that's all.
everyone's
Yeah.
like hanging out
Oh, and
behind
Watson.
rocks
Yeah.
and
Watson,
sniping
for
with their
sure.
lifeline.
Yeah.
Just turning on the lifeline bot, hiding
Yeah.
behind a rock, and is popping out and shooting anyone you can. And is
Yeah,
everyone's
because this
just-
game was designed to be with 3 people. To have this solo thing's just going to fuck things up. So weird.
And that's why I thought it was going to be weird if they ever like did a full blown introduction to this like kind of game mode, because then you've got to rebalance things. But
It's like-
with it being a time limited event, this is probably a good way for them to start like gathering some data.
Yeah,
Doing
exactly.
a little
It's a
telemetry,
test.
seeing who people are playing, seeing which characters are winning the most often.
Right.
and
But
stuff.
at the
Right.
same time, release some special event loot. That's
Oh, I know,
always
you're
the
so
fucking
excited.
best. Oh,
Yeah.
Their event loot is seriously like they throw gold in there. It's like they throw color schemes.
Black and gold, just
It's
like
so
Trump.
good. Like the legendary hunt event was like. Some people still put those purples above their legendary skins because they're just so cool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I like this game because like it actually some of the like purple skins and even a few blue skins are actually really fucking cool.
Yeah, especially the limited times when you can't get now anymore because
Yeah.
they're locked by some like the badges.
Yeah, it's like with Overwatch, whenever the summer seasons come around
Yeah.
or any event comes around, they're locked till that thing comes around again.
Yeah. One thing I am curious about too, though, is if you'll still at least be able to queue into solo groups with the normal matchmaking system. Like if the 3 of us can queue up as a party, launch a solo round, and then it's still all of us by ourselves on our own team, but at least we're still in the same game. I think that would be interesting
That would
for like
be kind of
friend competitive
cool.
competition.
Well, I don't know. I would be worried about
like we could
that.
just
go
have a
out there
chat
and you, like
party.
meet each other out there. Or
But I feel like that. But I feel
Might
like the whole
suck for
point of
team.
solos is to not meet up with your team. That
Oh,
would
you
kind
mean,
of
like,
defeat the
communi-
purpose.
No, I don't think- no.
Because then at that point you might as well just team up and.
because then you could
oh,
just.
I wouldn't team up with y'all.
Well, I know, but
I wouldn't either, but that definitely.
but I see what you're saying.
yeah,
You could
with
easily-
communication allows cheating because
Yeah.
we could just farm kills off each other by
yeah,
knowing where
I
we
mean,
are.
as
Exactly.
soon as I said it, I was like, "Oh fuck, that would be terrible for like stream sniping or something."
Yeah.
'Cause,
Like
yeah,
we
you
could
can
do a
essentially
chat
communicate,
party,
or
I
stuff.
guess probably, but
Yeah, but it's not the same because you're
Because
all in
I
different
assume
games.
when like how they have the 2 extra reticles on the side for the other players.
Yeah.
I assume when you go into solos, those are just kind of going to be gone or X'd out or
I'd
something.
at least like to be able to spectate or something.
You can spectate who kills you.
No, I mean like spectate one of the other players. outside of just, like-
Twitch.tv/RayCharlizard.
Yeah,
There you go. Nice, yeah. Definitely excited for that though. Solos.
Yep.
Maybe duos next.
Yeah, I think duos would be cool too.
Also, hopefully maybe crypto will get launched also with it. Like I know that seems like a long shot, but this is
Just
the
tomorrow,
first
all of a sudden, crypto pops
this
up.
is the first new like event content we've had for this season.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like it might happen.
Yeah, but
maybe
If
It's
anything-
new content, but it doesn't seem like this doesn't seem like it was part of their plan. It feels like fan service.
No, I think this is definitely planned. I think they've taken a long time into because it's like halfway through season 2 right now. I think they've this is the time when they start experimenting with new stuff for the next season. I mean, halfway point of your season that's time to start planning for next.
Well, this runs until the 27th. What if the patch drops on the 27th? It pulls out the solo mode, and
And
that's
then
when
crypto
crypto.
there you go. That's a good idea
That
too.
sounds better.
You take something away.
I
you
just
give
don't
them
think that
something
they
else.
would drop him solo in this mode. It
Well,
doesn't
think
make
about
sense.
it. It also gives you a new character to play solo. Since everybody's gonna want to pick him because he's a new character, perfect opportunity with the solo mode.
You know what? We gotta get you on the phone with those guys over at over at EA,
Yeah.
over at Respawn.
Respawn.
Then I guess you would just have a whole match full of cryptos, but that's fine.
It's just like it's like the same thing anytime an Overwatch character drops.
Yeah. Everybody wants to play the new stuff. So
Next up, the majority of Activision Blizzard's net revenue comes from mobile platforms.
That's
knew
the
that
majority.
already.
37% of all of their revenue comes from mobile platforms.
Wow. I didn't realize that was the majority.
paid transactions, though, right? Like,
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
think about like how
microtransactions.
popular Hearthstone is.
Hearthstone's a big one. They own Candy Crush.
Holy shit!
They own King Games or whatever.
That's a big one.
Yeah,
Yeah. They
you're
also
getting a lot of the
That's
single
like
mom
the
market on that one.
original mobile like transaction game.
Oh
Like-
yeah, big time.
like
Yeah, they own the OG mobile game.
that and Angry Birds.
And another thing too, I mean, this gives you a look into the business decision behind why the next Diablo game is going to be mobile only. Because that was the big snafu at the last Diablo event where everyone was
Yeah.
like expecting them to launch Diablo.
What, you guys
4.
don't have phones?
Yeah. So clearly
What
that's
again is just like such a bitchy comment made by Blizzard too.
Such a
It's-
passive aggressive.
Yeah,
like,
so catty.
But also, you know what is interesting too? Let me see if I can find this little quote from here.
It's just like, what is Blizzard a drunk single mom? Like,
no, they're a business like that, and that's what it feels like.
So the headline or the header selected business highlights says Activision Blizzard outperformed our second quarter outlook, reflecting strong creative and commercial execution as we continued to reposition the business for future growth. Across Call of Duty, Candy Crush, Warcraft, Hearthstone, Overwatch, and Diablo, we are expanding our development teams so that we can accelerate the delivery of content in our pipeline, pursue new business models, broaden our communities, and delight our players. Did anyone happen to catch which game was not mentioned in that list?
I did not, but that
StarCraft.
that just sounds to me like we made a lot of money in this one section, and we're gonna just focus on that.
Oh yeah, you getting Call of Duty mobile.
I mean,
Warcraft mobile.
Like I get it from a
getting
business.
Overwatch mobile.
makes me think that
If PUBG can do it, we can get Overwatch on the phones.
I'd play
Diablo
that
is
if-
just going to be the biggest money suck.
Yeah,
it seems like.
if you can do it, and it's I guess if you've got the capital to make your teams build bigger, why not?
I just think it's interesting that this basically just flat out said they have no interest in working on more StarCraft right now.
Yeah,
Because StarCraft 2 came out how long ago now? Like something like 2008. Let me look.
it's just an IP they're not really like focusing on, I guess.
StarCraft invented the esport.
It's
It's huge in like
it's
Korea and
still
stuff.
being played.
Well, yeah, it's I don't know. Blizzard's got classic now.
Where is this? StarCraft 2 came out
Those are
in 2010.
It's RTS, right?
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Like
not
the
not
yeah, like Travis
the
said,
original,
Starcraft-
the OG
But they've had
RTS.
2 StarCraft projects canceled since StarCraft 2 came out.
Really?
Yeah.
Reason specific or just kind of
I mean, how often does any developer come out and say, "Hey, this was sucking ass, so we canceled it"? They don't give you the reason. They
I
just,
guess, yeah.
You hear rumors. You know that projects are being worked on. You know when they get canceled because someone's allowed to start talking or feels like they are allowed to start talking about it afterwards.
Let's just all believe that Star Wars 1313 was good in our hearts. Was going to be good in our hearts.
Star Wars 1313.
Yeah.
No one calls it 1313. What's wrong?
I know. I should have said
I don't know
1313.
what that is.
I regretted saying 1313, but I had to commit.
It was. It had a reveal trailer at E3 a few years ago. I think just
No, it
before
was-
this generation started.
Yes.
And it was you play like a bounty hunter, and it looked a lot like Uncharted Star Wars.
Yep.
dope.
Yeah, it looked very cool. Amy Hennig actually was leading that team over at. Fuck, I can't. The developer's gone now. EA shuttered the studio.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's just pretend that came out. It was good. Our last story.
No, I will not.
Oh, sorry. We have 2 more stories. Gears 5 has officially gone gold, and it's on track for its September 6th release.
By gold, you mean
So going gold in games just means that like they have printed the master code onto a disc. The disc has been certified, and that is the code that will be shipped on discs in retail when the game launches.
so that's like the
The game's basically
the mother
ready.
copy that will be
Yes.
made into all other copies.
Yeah.
Cool.
yeah,
Neat.
it's a good. It's a big milestone. for
Sure.
games.
Yeah, I get it now. Yeah, I didn't know that's how that worked. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Neat.
I'm excited.
Yep.
My only thing for like Gears 5 is like I want more What?
Just fucking.
God
It's
damn
not
you.
even out yet, and you're nitpicking, and
Exactly.
why don't you wait and see what you get first?
Maybe you already have it.
I wasn't
Maybe
even
it's already in
nitpicking. I was
there.
gonna say one wish that I hope it had. I just wish it had more human interaction a little bit with like the bigger cities.
You don't
All I
even
wish.
know yet. It's not
where
out.
are my Gears towns?
That's all I want. That's all I want.
Where's my ability to buy a house, make a wife?
No, it wasn't.
Have a nice
Gears-
Gears family.
Fucking hate you.
I hope they have human interaction too.
Fable 4 win. That's all I'm saying.
Never. You're never getting Fable 4.
God, I
Never
hate you.
happening.
Yeah, I think the last Gears of what I played was 3 on the 360 regular. Yeah, for a little while. I don't think
Well,
I
yeah,
finished
that
it, though.
was the second to last Gears to come
Yeah,
out.
I don't
on
think I
360.
finished it. Yeah,
No, Gears 3 was great. It was
cool.
Yeah, apparently we're gonna play Gears 3.
Yes, we are.
I'm so
It's gonna be
excited.
great.
I'm not. I wanted to just jump into 4 and skip Gears 3 because I've been trying to play Gears 2 and 3 for
Yes,
so
we've
long.
been talking about this. I swear to God, for
but is it like 3
months now?
kind of like pivotal?
What 3?
Yeah,
Yes, 3 is very pivotal.
I'm
like-
sure 4 has a recap.
it probably does. Yeah.
I'm sure I get it. I bet things happened.
Last time on Gears of War.
I bet Dom almost died, and then now he's good.
God damn you!
Spoilers.
Don't.
Is his name not Dom?
No, you had it right.
Is
Is he dead? No, he's
Dom-
not dead because I played the beginning of Gears 4. I know
Dominic?
he's alive.
Toretto?
No, you're wrong.
What? You get old man Dom in
I don't
Gears
know.
4.
No, he's dead.
I don't know. Is it
Spoilers.
Is he a ghost?
Why would you spoil that for
Ghost Dom? I don't know. I've never played 4. Don't look at me.
me? No, I'm looking at Drew. Why?
No, he
why would
looked
you
at me.
spoil that for me?
You weren't even like.
You knew we were going to play tonight.
Oh my
I
God.
didn't care, and then you convinced me to care and play it, and now you're like, "Oh, by the way, the end of the game is this."
No, you're
You
still.
two
We're,
can't
you're
help
still.
yourselves. Hey,
don't be-
We're still
don't
gonna
you
play.
dare.
You're gonna have a good time.
How dare you
I
bring me into
guarantee
this?
it.
I was outside of this car. Don't you bring me into this. This was his fuck up, not mine.
You guys always do this.
Always do what? Oh yeah, I do
Spoil.
spoil.
Lump me
Yeah.
in with him.
Spoiler Bros instead
I
of
don't-
Spoiler Bro. Spoilers Bros or Spoiler Bros.
I
That's
don't
who you
spoil
are.
shit.
Spoiler Bros, new podcast and idea. Me and Ethan watch terrible movies and tell you about it.
You just
Dude, I
ruin
would
everything
love
for everybody.
That sounds great. Yeah.
You
Only the people
embed
that want to
yourselves
listen.
into the video game industry. You make contacts, friends with developers under pseudonyms, and then you go and leak everything like days before release. You just feed the 4chan trolls.
That's our thing.
Like you know that would be a big internet thing. It's like, oh shit, did you see Spoiler Bros releasing a new podcast? Like,
No, I don't watch it. I haven't seen it yet.
Don't spoil me, bro. Yeah. Don't spoil me. Next up,
Write that down. Somebody write that down.
in our final news story for the day,
I'm still with the news. I'm just kidding. God.
and that's the way the news goes. Destiny 2's cross-save feature launches August 21st.
That's soon.
that's soon.
Very
yeah.
soon. So the full
fucking
blown
dope.
new light update does not still not come until October 1st, but the preparation going into it starts October or August 21st. You'll be able to go to Bungie.net if you already have, say, a profile on Xbox and PS4, or if you're playing the Battle.net PC version. That'll be the day that you can go on, transfer whichever characters you want, merge them all into your new online Destiny Bungie profile, get wrapped up in it, get tight with it, and that'll be your new selection.
I'm so uncomfortable with that.
That'll be your new selection. There's
My
not gonna be a card
Naruto
with-
chakra.
Because nothing is happening.
No. For the listener, Ethan just made a disgusting hand gesture.
What is that hand? What is that? Is that called
I
something?
don't
That's
know.
not called
But it
anything.
just makes it feels sexual, and I am not okay with
It's
it.
like when you shake somebody's hand, but you put like your finger in the middle, and then you just like rub their palm. Just that shit right there. That
You
level.
lick your thumb first and
Oh God,
slides right in there.
that's so awful. Oh man. Destiny,
Anyway.
Destiny 2.
So the way that this is going to work,
cross apes.
all of your accounts are linked to Bungie.net already, just because
Right.
it's an online game.
because that's how that works. Yeah.
You'll be able to go in and pick, like you could either transfer all your PS4 characters and toss your Xbox and PC ones. You could pick one character from each one if you had characters across the three of them. They'll give you a couple options to build out your 3-slot profile, and then going forward, that'll be what every time you load up Destiny 2 on any of these consoles or platforms, those will be the 3 that you've got.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I did not realize that was going to happen right away. More useful for the PC, or I'm sorry, for the Xbox and PS4 players if you want to jump back and forth between those. If you, for some reason, own 2 copies of Destiny right now, this won't affect anyone playing on PC.
Well, you get it for free, so.
Not until October.
Oh,
Actually, I think a lot of people might have, PC and PlayStation.
I know a lot of streamers do. Like, I know a lot of the bigger Destiny streamers, they have the game on multiple platforms so they can play with multiple people in the community and all that.
Fran probably does. No, I think he's just a PC streamer.
Yeah, I think
For
I just know,
Destiny.
I just
he
know a lot
mostly
of
plays
people
on PC
when they
for
played
that,
this on PS4, they were also excited for when it dropped on PC. So
Oh, for sure. Well, especially now, just because you'll have that. If you have a high-end gaming PC,
Oh, yeah.
it means you don't have to drop the other 30,
definitely
60 bucks
now,
or whatever.
yeah, it
And,
means your double purchase wasn't as
Yeah.
dumb.
and I know in this announcement, they did also clarify a couple things with how the expansions work and everything. So if you get New Light, that includes everything up to but not including Forsaken. And then also, of course, does not include Shadowkeep or the annual pass stuff. So for someone like me, I own Forsaken and the annual pass. I can access that content on the PS4 version, but to access any of it on any other platform, I would have to rebuy those expansions, similar to the way that Final Fantasy XIV works right now. So like I have all the expansions on the PS4 version,
But if you want it on PC,
yeah,
you gotta buy
and
it.
I just have Realm Reborn and Heaven's Ward on PC, so I could play that content up to that point, and at that point I would either have to buy that expansion or switch back over to the PS4 version.
sounds very reasonable.
Yeah,
if
and
you want
then-
to play the content, you have to own it on that platform.
This does not affect your ability to say use exotics you unlocked in Forsaken or Shadowkeep and then went on to like another platform but didn't own those expansions. You still keep all your gear, all your weapons,
Oh, that's nice.
anything else. But things you're missing would not necessarily, they would not drop the way that they might drop
On
if
the
you-
console
on
where
the
you
version where
originally
you
got
don't
it.
have those
Yeah.
expansions. Yeah. So you're not locked out of stuff you've already earned through progress in your other
interesting.
thing. Yeah, I thought that was a nice way of handling that at least.
Really? Yeah, that's total fan service.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they're not like forcing purchases.
I don't know if fan service
Yeah.
is the right word,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Because that would suck if like
it's
you
being nice to
you
your
jump
community.
on, you've got your character looking a certain way. That
Yeah.
almost defeats the whole purpose of the cross save. Is if you upload your save, you log on, and it's like, hey, you're naked right now because you have a bunch of shit from an expansion.
Well,
you
you're-
don't
yeah.
own here. You put on some old crap you don't use anymore.
You're still allotted like one legendary gun and then the top
It was
tier.
like one exotic gun or weapon of
and then
anything,
one
and
armor.
one
exotic
armor,
I mean,
Yeah.
if one of those
Yeah.
was like your literal, like if that was holding your shit together,
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause you
exactly.
create
Like your main
builds.
gear set
yeah,
piece.
I
Yeah.
mean,
stuff.
and then it was just gone because you were on a different platform at the time. Yeah, that would
Be shitty.
destroy your whole thing.
Yeah. And I know another move towards some of that too that they're fixing is that there's no longer going to be exclusive exotics or maps on the PS4 version.
I didn't know they did that.
Oh, well, you didn't know because you were playing on the PS4 version. There was always like one PvP map and like one exotic.
Really?
And some shaders that were exclusive for a year on
So now
PS4.
everything's going to be available to everyone at the
Yeah,
same
and then
time.
a year later it would come out on the Xbox
I
version.
mean, I was getting it first on PlayStation.
Yep, they had that marketing deal.
Cool.
Cute. But yeah, that's good news for the Destiny folks. I don't know what I have to do to take advantage of this. I don't think I can do anything right now because
You bought yourself into a corner.
yeah, I'm like, I would have to because I think I got the Bungie.net version for free because they were giving it away for free at some point, just the base
On
game.
PC, right?
Yeah, but then I wouldn't have either the expansions or Forsaken, obviously, and so
Yeah.
I would just be able to like tool around in like the basic game modes, I guess, if I was to do this cross
But you
save
could
right away.
you could eventually get New Light and get the expansion. Then
That would give you the first two Curse of Osiris,
and then you would
Warmind.
just have to get Forsaken.
Yeah.
and then everything after.
Yeah, so that's the one thing that's keeping me from being too excited is that right away, because I have tons of Forsaken content I haven't even finished and my annual
yeah.
pass. So I would have to rebuy. Well, I think with Shadowkeep, I think there is a version that comes with
when
all
does
the other stuff.
Shadowkeep come out?
It comes out October 1st with New Light.
Yeah, just like you told me there, like when we were before I bought Forsaken, like we were talking about how the different versions would come out before the new one. There's probably going to be.
I'm sure there's a digital deluxe version
gonna
that
have
comes with
everything that you're missing, yeah,
and the year one pass and the year two annual pass.
So
'cause
if
there's
you
a new
haven't
annual
bought,
pass coming out as well.
If you've been kind of holding out, maybe just
Wait a
hold
little
out
longer,
a little
yeah.
bit longer. Yeah,
You'll get New Light for free. There's probably like an $80 edition of Shadowkeep that you'll be able
end
to
up
get.
spending more money now if you just rush your purchase.
Yeah. And that is it for the news. unless you guys had anything else y'all read this week that you thought was particularly interesting.
Don't watch porn on Twitch.
Don't swat people.
Yeah, swatting's bad.
Yeah, we just read right before we went live a story about the kid we talked about from last week that won the Fortnite World Championships or whatever that happened a couple weeks ago.
$3 million.
Won more money than Tiger Woods sees at the end of the Masters.
Tiger
He was
Woods,
streaming either today or last night, and some asshole swatted him or whatever. And
If you don't know what swatting is, it's a douchebag practice of calling the SWAT on someone streaming or, of anyone.
Yeah.
And having the cops raid your house. Don't do it. It's awful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't waste
so-
the police's time and energy with that shit.
Right,
First
don't
of
waste
all.
taxpayer
well, that's the first
dollars.
thing that happens
Don't-
is then they go and look into who made the call and stuff.
Yeah, and they should.
There's been a couple high profile cases where people have gone to prison over
Good.
I
this.
think
Yeah.
one of
Shouldn't
the
do that. Should be catching real problems.
I think the one where the kid,
Like
one
marijuana
of the
smokers.
yeah, I think one of the ones where one of the people died from the swatting thing. I think they actually got the guy.
Yeah, because they're
Yeah.
there to find criminals in some in nefarious activity, so they go in there guns ready.
Yeah.
because they're SWAT.
Yeah, and that was the thing
Yeah.
is that this kid lucked out that like one of the officers
yeah.
that showed up on the scene was his neighbor.
Yeah,
And like knew these people were probably not doing it. It's his family and they've got a 16-year-old kid who just won a Fortnite competition. Pretty
Yeah.
sure he's not in there cooking up meth or
no, like
or
come on.
holding his girlfriend at gunpoint or anything like that. So
Yeah.
luckily they knocked and waited for him to answer instead of just like busting into this kid's house. But yeah, don't do stupid shit online.
Yeah.
These people have real lives. And also, this is something to worry about too. We were just talking about that big ESA leak.
exactly. I was thinking the
last
same thing.
Oh well, I mean, I read a tweet from Colin Moriarty that said his fireside chat, or
Yeah,
is that what it's called?
He said he was canceling fireside chats because
For the safety of his family and just his safety.
This wasn't because of the ESA leak. That
no,
was-
but I'm saying that's
that was
just
just
that's
because when
one
the-
thing. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Why was he having guests on that people didn't agree with? And they
No,
worked
it was because when the whole PAX thing got canceled, you have a bunch of crazy assholes on Twitter that were saying, "Oh, wouldn't
Yeah.
it be terrible if someone just like accidentally threw a milkshake on him at PAX or." And just the typical people that
yeah.
they're mad at him because
Just
they think
online
he's violent and
shitheads.
racist
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
the
sexist.
bad
And then he
people
says, "Oh well, we'll just
that are
kick
on the
his
internet.
ass if we ever see him."
Right.
So,
yeah, it's just
and his whole point was that since he's done fireside chats, he's just kind of trusted that people in the community, because those people come to his home where
Yeah.
him and his girlfriend live and their dog, and
where he does all of his
he
podcasts,
doesn't
right?
Yeah, he's not like sending
In a
he's not doing
studio.
a background
Yeah.
check. He's not sending a private investigator to learn about. Like he's just trusting that these people are good, non-crazy people. And he brought up a very pertinent point was that what happens if someone who really has it out for him for some reason decides to subscribe to his Patreon, it only costs $10 a month,
yeah.
get in there, pretend to be friendly, and then
Hey
show
man,
up
I've
at
been
his
a big
house
fan of
with
you
a
for so
gun.
long. Yeah, it'd be great to meet you. I'd love to come down for a fireside chat. And just,
Yeah, and it's one side of you said tries to be practical and think, oh well, no one would actually do that. And then you hear
That's
shit like this,
that's
and
people would actually.
yeah,
Dude, it happens like every day.
yeah,
people do fucking dumbass shit like that. Like I don't even want to bring it up. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just don't be shitty.
Don't get on the internet just to do shitty things. Like find something better to do.
You think people would do that? Just get on the internet and tell lies?
Be better.
Be better. Yeah, have good vibes.
Don't be sorry. Be better.
Yeah, exactly. Live by Papa Kratos' standard.
Boy.
I'm going to take just a second to put down a time code. And welcome back, guys. We took a short little bathroom break. All of us together. It's
We held
efficient.
hands.
You're actually gonna do that? You're gonna cut back into it? That's cool. Yeah, nice.
That's how you do it.
Choice.
It was going to flow perfectly had you not
Podcast
just asked if
magic.
that was what I was going
No,
to do.
that still floats. The beginning's still solid. You can cut all this out.
It is. You know what? It's Metal Gear Solid.
Boom.
Metal Wolf.
No, that's Metal Wolf Chaos.
Gear.
Which, speaking of, I really want to pick that game up.
What is it? Is it just a net game?
It's like From Software's first game. And it's a mech game where you play the president of the United States.
It's From Software?
Yep.
Oh, I gotta get this then.
To
Just-
fight.
I have to.
fight the vice president of the United States who has gone rogue, and it's
sounds
just
so
a crazy
cool.
anime game.
That is like the greatest concept I've ever
so
heard in my
awesome.
entire
It's like-
life. As soon as you said it's
It's
a mech
full-blown
game
camp
and you
the
play as
whole
the
way.
president of the United States, I was like, what?
Yeah, from my contract with Souls games, I have to get it if it's
Exactly.
made by
I was about to say you're
From
contractually
Software,
obligated to
yeah.
play Metal Wolf Chaos, and it came out and everything. I think it's out already. It's like $20 maybe.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I'll check that out when I get home.
And it's the first time it ever came out in the US because it was an Xbox exclusive title in Japan.
Wow.
Xbox One, the original Xbox, yeah. But that said, I think it's time for us to jump into our big topic. Could be big, could be small. It was something that occurred to me earlier today.
Yeah.
Kind of just wanted to talk about the streaming video platform landscape, where we are right now, how many platforms we have, how many more are coming, and just kind of everything that goes with that. Because you think about just a few years ago, it was really just Netflix and Hulu. Those are your only options.
I remember, well, I can kind of interrupt you for a second.
If I may.
Yeah, if I may, please. I remember when Netflix streaming like first came out, and it was like 2008, and I was in college, and I
shipped you the DVD for your Wii.
No,
Put the DVD in and then access the streaming app.
Yeah.
no,
It was the same
actually
for the PS3 because
It
there was
was.
no way to download apps. Like literally, the game systems didn't have that whole interface programmed
So it
in.
was
It was
not
either
till
a
later,
game
yeah.
or it was nothing, and then
a
you had,
disc.
they had to ship you a disc and install
But
the
it was
app.
no, it was Xbox the first time, and I just remember thinking about this. I was like, "Oh, this is cool as shit," but this is never going to catch on. You know?
Yeah, no one thought it was going to make any sense. This was
But-
like the days of YouTube, like barely being around. And
Oh, for sure.
just cat videos and basically Americans' Funniest Home Video ripoffs. Like,
Yeah.
and Newgrounds.com was where all the good
getting
stuff was.
Hitting the
And
crotch with football.
And yeah,
internet was in a
speaking
very
of
different place
speaking of
back
like,
then.
yeah, I remember when I got my first, well, my only PlayStation 3, the Slim. Yeah, that's how I had to access Netflix. Yeah, I got shipped the disc to
Yep.
access Netflix. Yeah.
Yep. Limited to 720p video back then.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Not that anyone knew any
Good
better because
stuff.
everyone was still using.
And you were
full
glad
screen
to have
TVs.
it.
Yeah. Back in my day, we had to get Netflix shipped to us, and we only had 720p quality.
And now we're at the point where
We had to walk 20 miles in the snow to get it.
I tell people every once in a while that like there's the DVD shipping side of Netflix still exists and people's minds are blown. Like they figured it was just gone by now.
Isn't it
Does
just
it?
DVD.com or
DVD.com? It's still owned and operated by Netflix,
Oh,
but
okay. It's under a new
the
name,
same.
though. Yeah.
What
That's
you remember the 1 to 4 disc plan, and it's
Yep.
still
I think
an
someone
enormous
told
library.
me-
I sign up every once in a while when there's like something old on DVD.
Yeah,
that I
because
can't
it's
find.
obscure. They have some obscure ass movies on there.
Yeah,
and
and there's
everything.
especially like old television series and stuff that like just haven't made the leap to digital.
Oh, they still have like seasons of stuff that.
Yeah, like
cool.
One of the things I did where I totally didn't illegally rip this from Netflix or anything.
Yeah, because that's
But,
mine does not condone that kind of activity.
Yeah, I signed up for a Netflix account or a DVD.com account and rented my mom like all 9 seasons or whatever, all on the family.
Yeah.
because the only other option was to buy like
Nice.
a $300 DVD set because they're out of print. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh shit, well, if I do this fast enough, I probably just need to pay for 2 months of Netflix and I could throw it all on Plex. And now, like, I did that for Christmas. I like just planned it out like 2 months ahead of time. And she didn't want the DVDs because she's used to Netflix. She doesn't want to have to get up and
Yeah, you don't want to
switch
change
DVDs
that
all the
disc
time and
every
stuff.
time.
And
Yeah.
bend down below the entertainment center. Her back's not quite where it used to be. She's used to everything being on Plex and everything. And yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, fuck, am I gonna have to shell out $300 for this? And I was like, oh, I can just rent them from Netflix. Same with like old Shirley Temple movies that she likes and just a lot of stuff that you just can't necessarily buy digitally, or if you do, it's worse than DVD quality.
Like Cats Don't Dance.
Just like Cats Don't Dance. But yeah, so really you just had Netflix and Hulu for so long, and then now it looks like everyone
That has
we're
any
thinking
kind of
about
content.
launching an absent-minded streaming platform where you come to us. We're gonna have vintage horror films and old reruns of the Teletubbies, and that's gonna be our market. We're gonna have that cornered. We're gonna get the rights, and you're gonna have to subscribe to us for $12.99 a month.
Do you remember the
To get any
Fox
of those.
box? We're just gonna show just that whole thing.
Nothing from Fox
Welcome
Kids,
to
just Fox Box. We got Sonic X, we got
Yeah,
Beyblade.
Kid Muscle, or what was it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
you
god, Beyblade.
Beyblade. Yeah, just hours.
Most recently, you've got CBS All Access, which came out, and even now, another reason why I started thinking about this was there was this recent blackout on DirecTV where CBS stopped providing their channel to people that still have like DirecTV satellite, and it's a blackout. Like you go to it, and they're just like, "Hey, we can't provide this channel right now."
Wow.
And you don't think about it being too big of a channel because, like, what do they have besides The Big Bang Theory? But even
prime
then,
time television,
I mean, but
that some
that's-
people are pretty loyal to.
That's a big sack of money.
guess,
big
yeah.
CBS,
areas.
NBC.
I don't watch that type
Yeah,
of network television.
exactly.
I know each of them have their niche and
It's
there's
not you,
shows
but
that are on there.
CBS, NBC, Fox, they do have their followings. Yeah.
But even CBS All Access, it's another one where it's like $10 a month or something. Like that's the only place to watch the new Star Trek Discovery, Picard, which starts either early next year or late this year or something.
So good.
You're going to have to subscribe to that if you want to watch it in the US, which kind of sucks because if you happen to be lucky lucky if you really want to watch Star Trek on not CBS All Access. In other parts of the world, you can just get that on like Amazon, like anything else.
Really?
Or on Netflix, I think.
Well, even then,
Discovery's on
couldn't you
Netflix.
just do it, access it with a VPN?
Probably, but they get harder and harder about cracking down on that stuff
Right.
and blocking certain VPNs and
Okay.
everything. And to this point now, where they're getting to the point where they're starting to threaten people's accounts if they catch you using a VPN, that technically breaks their terms of service. They could just
Really?
ban your service account.
Well, how could they catch you using a VPN? Because I thought that's the whole
Again,
point.
absent-minded is not doing that kind of.
But even that, you don't have to go deep in that. That's,
I mean, you don't. You could use your imagination if you've been connecting with the same IP for so long, and suddenly
That's
you're
true.
connecting from Europe.
Please, just use your imagination. That's all.
Yeah.
But so it seems like what the thing was back in the day, everybody was willing to share their content and their videos to a single platform, like you said, like Hulu or Netflix.
Because, like Drew said, no one thought it was going to be successful
Right.
anyway. What
And
are we going to lose?
Now
Right.
that they realize that they're losing money by just giving this out and sharing the premium price that they're offering by the site, that they just rather just do it themselves.
Yeah.
Like with Disney and all their Marvel IPs and stuff. Or,
well, even
Yeah.
Star Wars, The Mandalorian.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, sure, yeah.
Disney's starting their Disney Plus service. That's coming out in the fall. We talked about that a lot during our Marvel Phase 4 episode.
There's less and less on Hulu now because so many people have, or so many, what am I trying to say?
Well, even okay, so like
Providers or whatever.
yeah, whenever I log into like Netflix
Networks.
now, yeah, so whenever I log into like Netflix now compared to like 10 years ago, you know, like when you log in like 10 years ago, you still get like a variety of like a whole bunch of different stuff.
But it's, but it's newer, more
the library
original.
has shrunk significantly.
it shrunk significantly and to be only pretty much Netflix exclusives.
Yes,
Yeah,
which
but-
were not around back then.
Yes, exactly.
That's less because of new providers popping up with their own
more
streaming
of a,
services.
that's more of a growth of Netflix.
That's true, right.
Because in the beginning, all startups bleed cash.
Yeah.
They had a lot of investors that were paying to make sure that the service
They
was
had to pay
successful
it
But even
back,
then,
yeah.
Hulu's doing the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
well,
Hulu's
but
is
Hulu,
not as
Hulu's
good.
majority stakeholder.
Hulu has good shows.
Hulu's
Hulu has
majority
really good shows.
stakeholder
Not as
is
good
Disney.
as-
Disney owns most of Hulu,
Really?
and Fox held the another 20% or so, which
And Netflix is
Disney
like,
got when
I guess,
Disney bought
independent,
Fox.
right? Where just Netflix owns Netflix.
Netflix is Netflix.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they're
were-
their
yeah,
own
they-
company. Yeah.
Right.
No, a lot of it was that Netflix got to the point where they just because they have to pay to license out.
Yeah, they had to pay
this
it all back.
programming.
You
Yeah.
know, they started it up, they had to pay it back, and now they have their.
Yeah, and the big one that's about to hit soon is sometime next year or either late this year or something like that. The Office is not going to be on Netflix anymore.
That's right.
A lot of
is pulling their content
lot of
because NBC is starting
stationary.
their own streaming service as well
Yeah.
because that's something that Comcast has been wanting to get behind. Mostly because again, it's all very incestuous. Like when you start looking at it, like Warner Brothers owns, I believe they own the majority stake in HBO. That's a Time Warner company. Yeah. So they have HBO Go and now, and then are moving to HBO Max, which is going to be coming out soon. That's another streaming service that's going to bundle a bunch of that stuff together. And I think NBC is going to be in there as well because, I'm sorry, not NBC, like CW and Time Warner and all their stuff. So a lot of that stuff's going to be leaving Hulu before long because Comcast has been wanting to, who owns NBC, has been wanting to get into that game as well. So they're starting their own NBC streaming service, which may or may not lead to them pulling NBC content from DirecTV and these
will.
other providers and stuff. It probably will. We're getting to a point now where years ago we thought, oh, cool, let's cut the cord, get rid of these cable boxes, get rid of these DirecTV things, because all we really need is Netflix, maybe Hulu, maybe HBO.
We need a stream provider.
Let's be real, out of the premium channels, the only one we really give a shit about is HBO.
Sure, yeah.
Anything it's on Showtime or whatever, it'll pop. A lot of the Showtime stuff pops up on Netflix.
Oh, dude,
Eventually, it pops up on these other things.
Always, yeah. That's like
I
whenever
think
I
the
hear
only
like can you-
Showtime show I cared about for so long was Shameless, and it's been on Netflix for years.
Yeah.
and even that's gone down the drain. Like it's not good anymore.
Yeah, like anytime I hear like a comedian talk about a special and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's coming out on Showtime," I'm like, "Cool, see you on Netflix in a year."
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, with all these services coming out, it's slowly becoming the joke. I don't know if y'all had ever seen this image a long time ago where it was like, oh, you know, TV 20 years from now and you're paying a la carte for every single channel, and like then here's your plus internet package where it's like, oh, you can go to google.com and all these different, because a lot of these cable companies are also the internet providers now. You've got AT&T, they're your big internet. Xfinity, which is owned by Comcast, they're your big internet provider. Also do cable TV and stuff like that.
Apple TV,
yeah, and all this shit. And so the joke at the time was, we'll just charge, instead of the one big cable package, all you want's Comedy Central and access to google.com and Wikipedia.
Cancel
we'll
your
charge
TV
you for all of
subscription.
those.
We'll just get you what you want.
And now it's literally getting to that point where it's like, okay, well now it's not going to be Netflix. If you want to cover everything, you're going to have to subscribe to CBS All Access, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, HBO Max, whatever, all these things are all these new services.
Or you know what? Maybe
it's like
Comcast
you're never gonna
offer you some sort of package that had all these channel streaming.
Well, they can't offer it for all of them because they don't.
It's a joke because it's just that's just a cable package.
Exactly. You can, that'll be the next big company that pops up.
We're not going.
Check out this revolutionary company that bundles all these fucking features for you.
We'll call it Ultra, and our whole we make it easier to streamline your streaming platform subscriptions into one easy to pay monthly bill.
It's Stream Cable.
Yeah, there you
it's
go.
Just it's the same thing.
The streamies.
Don't be fooled, sheeple. It's just the same thing.
But it's getting crazy, and what I thought was so funny is, you dig into this rabbit hole. The further you go, you realize a lot of talk a long time ago, well, even today, I guess, really, was how big piracy is. That piracy comes out, people were downloading movies more than ever. The Game of Thrones premiere was pirated by X million people in the first day and stuff.
Sure, but how many people watched it?
Oh, sure, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
People pirate shit.
Yeah,
and
it's what they do.
As Gabe Newell of Valve has been famously quoted for saying, is that piracy is a distribution problem, not necessarily a monetary problem. That when you go out and you pirated a CD back in the day, it was because you didn't want to have to go to Sam Goody and pay $20 for a fucking CD overpriced in some mall.
When you only wanted the one song.
When you just wanted one song. And then what happened? iTunes came out.
Yeah. 99 cents.
Now we've got Spotify, where it's like, oh, well, you can listen to all these CDs for $12 a month. Hell, free if you don't mind listening to some advertisements.
If you work for Starbucks.
Yeah, there you go. But
do you really get...
Spotify for free for like 6 years.
Essentially overnight, really over the course of a few years, but overnight, you eliminated the music piracy problem.
Yeah.
Tons of people still pirate music, but so many more are now paying into iTunes. They're paying into Spotify. They're paying into Tidal, which the record industry then sees residuals from those subscriptions and from those payments. Same thing happened with TV. Oh, well, I'm going to pirate all these episodes of The Big Bang Theory. I'm not going to watch advertisements for them, and then boom, Netflix and Hulu come out. Oh, okay, well now I only have to watch 30 seconds of ads on Hulu instead of 5 minutes every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Or, I get to binge a whole series in one sitting, and people bought it. They bought into it. Netflix prices go up and up, and their subscriber counts have dropped a little bit, but not enough considering the fact that it's gone from $7.99 to what, like $14.99 in the next couple months is what it's going to finally come up to. If you're on like the 4K full screen plan or whatever.
Which I am, yeah.
But even that's easier to swallow than... I recently canceled DirecTV because we had it just because that was the way to get unlimited data on the internet connection I had. And it was either pay $30 for unlimited data or pay $50 and get unlimited data and DirecTV. And I was like, well, it's local channels. Mom likes it, whatever.
Yeah.
We cancel it because in a month, now they want $90 a month for the same service that I hate. And now I don't technically need because my new internet comes with the unlimited data anyway. And that's the smallest package, people. That's the basic in the door price. People are still paying $150, $200, $300 sometimes for TV these days. When you start adding in the NFL Sunday ticket, your premium movie channels, and I need the super high-end DirecTV package because it's got this random obscure sports channel I like to watch every once in a while to keep up with my golf.
For basically something that you just turn on to leave for the dog when he leaves the house.
Exactly. Exactly. And so we're still not quite at the point where, say you have to subscribe to every streaming service. That's still probably going to be around $50 to $60 versus the hundreds people are paying right now.
And a lot of that stuff is bundled together with other stuff.
Yeah, but who knows how quickly we're going to hit this inflection point where that gap gets smaller, and you suddenly realize, fuck, I'm right back into this position. Like the only benefit is you don't have a term agreement when you sign up to Netflix. Luckily,
The streaming
you can cancel it anytime you fucking
you're not
want.
tied
Yeah.
in for 2 years.
You don't have to pay a cancellation fee.
Yeah.
The streaming
exactly.
services that do well, they will raise their prices. They'll start off small and it'll be no big deal, but eventually, you'll be paying that $15 a month premium and you'll really won't even notice it because it'll be so gradual.
You're drunk, Ethan. Yeah, because I was thinking about that too, because we talked when we were eating ramen earlier about Disney Plus, and it's going to be Disney Plus and Hulu Plus and ESPN Plus for $12.99 a month.
How am I not going to live without Disney? It's all in one spot and I'm just going to ignore it?
Yeah, especially you. I talk to you all the
on.
time, and you're like, yeah, I watched Infinity War like 17 times.
Yeah. It's
the
like
other day. And I'm like,
Endgame,
how have you watched that? Well, it's on
People-
Netflix. I was like, oh, yeah, I guess so. But now it's not going to be on
Captain
Netflix.
Marvel, they're not coming to Netflix. If you have not come to terms with that, you are an idiot. You will have to get Disney Plus.
Captain Marvel might
No,
make it.
it is not.
Have they said it's not?
Yes,
Oh,
it is
okay.
not
I was like,
coming.
it might be, it'll be on there for just a week.
It was the
Yeah,
first.
can you imagine?
and then they pull it and they're like, bitch, you want this? You
It
gotta
was the
subscribe to
first
Disney
one.
Plus.
It was
They
the
give you a
first one
taste.
that they noted that it was not.
Yeah,
and
that's a big-
and
that's a
people
big deal.
have been holding out for Endgame.
Yeah.
Stop it. You're not. I was still holding out for it. I read no, it's not coming.
Yeah. But like to your point, Disney Plus is only going to be
It's
$12.99
dropping
a
this year,
month
right?
because it's just launching. What's up?
It's dropping this year.
This fall.
This fall.
Yeah.
That's because they don't know what it's worth yet.
No, that's not what
they
I mean.
know it's worth a
I'm saying
minimum of.
it's to your point where it's
Or-
like that gets people in the door.
Yeah, I'm
that
sorry.
makes it cheaper than Netflix. It makes it around the same as Hulu, no ads, but they're bundling Hulu.
Let me
with it.
rephrase that. They don't know
And
what
ESPN.
they can charge for it yet.
Oh no, they know. It's Disney.
No, trust
They
me.
could charge $25 a month right out the gate, and I would sign up because
right.
it's Disney.
No, that's what I'm. But I'm saying they don't know how much they can push it. Is what I mean.
Sure.
Like they'll find that cap when
Right
they
now, it's
realize
how
people
many
stop paying.
how many Netflix consumers can we convert to Disney Plus? If we have to charge a certain amount, what's the amount we can charge that pulls customers away from somewhere else, but will also make people that
competitive
want
rate.
both consider paying for us as well?
I wanna know-
and that's the price, like $12.99 to especially anyone that's already on Hulu.
Yeah, I want to know how many accounts can I have on my Disney Plus.
Right, I
How
mean,
many how many screens can I watch at the same time?
Probably plenty. I'm sure it's like 4 screens.
Because you
I'm-
know the meme that was around for Netflix for a while where everybody was just sharing passwords and just
Oh,
you know,
sure.
there was like one account for
Oh, dude.
like 8 people.
We have it set up that way right now because, like, my sister, she technically pays for Hulu because she has to have her Hulu no
Right.
ads, and I've got a profile on there.
Sure.
And then we pay for Netflix, but then she's got a profile on our
Oh, that's
Netflix
what
account.
I do with my parents as well. Yeah,
so I wanna know
if they're
how
on my
easy
Hulu.
Share the
I want to know how easy Disney will be with that, or if they kind of have the foresight to know that that's what people will try to do and just kind of.
There's been talk of everyone wanting to crack down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think, again, you get to this point where it's like,
You're going to
can't
shoot
push
yourself
people
in the
too
foot.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. You
Got to give it a little bit of leeway.
Yeah, you fuck up with too many people. Again, it comes to the distribution problem where if you honestly think that if there's 4 people sharing one account and you block that and you make it so that one person is on there,
You're
do
going to
you
lose those.
really think you're going to get 3 more subscriptions?
no.
Or do you think you're going to push 3 more people back to going to the piratebay.org
Exactly.
every week and grabbing their
Well,
stuff from there?
It's kind of like Borderlands 3 was announced for being an Epic exclusive. I saw a dead meme being
Revived.
revived around the internet where it was like the Grim Reaper pulling something out of the closet and then like dusting it off, but and then like when he opened it up, it was Pirate Bay. Yeah.
Exactly. Because again, it's become so easy for so long to not worry about $10 a month here, $50 a month
Yeah, it's been
there.
very reasonable, but like you never know when you're going to push people beyond that limit to just like go back to old habits.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we're getting close. We're not quite there yet.
I think it's on the brink for sure.
Yeah, because like I said, until streaming services get to the point where you're literally paying the same amount as you used to pay for that cable box you used to have or whatever.
Yeah.
That's when enough people are going to be looking for other methods. That's when everyone's going to start caring about, oh fuck, how do I put Kodi on my Android TV again? And anyone know the hot new like site to add? Because you remember people were talking about that forever. They're selling like Android Fire Sticks with Cody, which was like a Plex, like it was kind of like Plex.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
you'd
was
add
wondering what
in,
you're saying about
some
Cody. I was
site.
like, what?
You would add in like an external server or whatever, and then you'd scroll through like lists of like the latest. Basically, it was just the pirated TV shows and movies.
I'm sure they were all
in
terrible
like a
quality.
Plex,
but
horrible quality. Yeah.
But at least they were free.
And
But you had your show.
every week, like the server would break down. You had to go online and find like a new one that works or whatever. But people were doing that for so long. There were literally people on Facebook Marketplace. They're just like, "Oh man, I'm selling them Cody sticks.
yeah.
I got you pre-jailbroken. I got all the good sites.
WatchFreeAnimeOnline.com.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh god, I used to remember going over to your apartment. I'm like, "What are you doing? What is that website?" And you're like clicking a pop up that pops up every 10 minutes or something. To like,
Yeah, I remember like freshman year at college for sure. A lot of those.
yeah, and no
But
one
I
does
had
it anymore.
Naruto day one.
But now you don't have to do that because
You're right.
day
Simulcast,
one, it's on Crunchyroll
Double,
or it's on Funimation now.
Dubcasts. Yeah,
All it is just $14.99 a month.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering when are we gonna hit that breaking point? When is it gonna when are we gonna dust off that Pirate Bay box?
Right. Yeah.
So,
exactly.
I think that's a great way of putting it.
I think really whenever it kind of like Ethan says, whenever it kind of like comes full circle and it hits that point to where like, guess what? We're going to offer all these services in a bundle again. I think everyone's going to be like, fuck this. Like, you know, like
And
we
then,
have,
and then
bundle,
they'll
if it
come
saves
out-
you $10 a month, it might be worth it.
And then they'll just come out with the next thing. Like they'll figure something out. The next Netflix will come out.
Right.
And I don't mean the next streaming platform. I mean the next advancement. Like the next thing that is what everybody's doing. You know?
The eyeball streams.
Yeah, once you're pushed to a point,
VR
you know,
in your brain.
Once they can't sell it anymore, they innovate and think of something new.
Yeah.
Sell it to you. And you buy it.
for sure.
The reason all this came to mind, and I guess the question as a whole is Netflix being the start of all of these big streaming services, could they be the first to fall? Because the way I think of it now, we were talking about how much shrunken the library is these days. I was talking about with somebody the other day that they don't really have any really good original programming anymore.
I would disagree
It's
with
very
that.
topical, but
Well,
it's not that great.
Let me get out the rest of my
I think
thoughts.
okay. I think as the masses.
Yeah, no, for sure. But again, this is one of those things where it takes time for people to realize what are they paying for this service for? What are we here for? And
Sure.
we joke all the time. I think on the car ride up here, you're like, y'all don't watch enough Office, and like because
Yeah,
and I don't.
I made one joke. Yeah,
but I have plenty of friends where it's like Netflix is their Office subscription.
But
I
you know
actually
what?
just
And-
started a rewatch
You know what?
on The
You can
Office.
always- you can
I
also-
am too. Yeah,
you can
I just
also-
watched the Dundies.
you can also watch
yesterday.
nice.
Great episode.
It's still on Comedy Central on reruns all
I
the
feel
time.
God
Yeah, I
in
know.
this Chili's.
So it's Parks and Rec now.
Yep.
Another NBC show that they'll be pulling when they pull The Office.
Yes.
Makes sense.
But the reason I say that is when you think about the Netflix's original programming, obviously Stranger Things comes to mind right now. That's probably got a couple seasons left in it.
Yeah, it doesn't have
Sure.
much left.
But House of Cards was the big one when that was a thing. Maybe you didn't watch it,
No,
but
that
that was
ended
a pop
for-
culture
That-
yeah, but that
phenomenon when
ended
that came
for
out.
reasons other than
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, it ended. Thank God Kevin Spacey touched some kid 20 years ago because that show
Jesus
should have ended like at season
fucking
4.
Christ.
And it took Netflix would have kept that zombie alive for so much longer.
How long did it go?
It ended at season 6, and it
Okay.
should have ended before that.
Really?
God, I can't
It was
believe you
getting
said
bad.
that.
It was. I'm just kidding.
It was a
And
pretty
also,
good
I know
joke.
the guy that I was referring to. That was actually he's on Star Trek Discovery, which is a show I actually enjoy. So that was maybe a poor taste. He'll never hear this podcast.
It's very important.
But you all heard it. I'm sorry
But,
if I triggered anyone. But yeah, like the OA was the big one that pissed me off the other day. So the OA, I don't know if y'all ever watched.
I
it.
watched
I
the
know what
first
it is.
season.
Yeah.
Season 2 was incredible. And actually, Ethan,
Season 2 was?
Yeah, if you didn't watch season 1,
No, never got to.
you like season 2. Like this went full blown cosmic horror.
Oh, awesome.
Well, yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
season 1 honestly kind of dragged.
It did, and the ending, it's funny. Season 2 was so good that it made the ending of season 1 better.
Okay.
It was like the Marvel Cinematic Universe retcon of Phase 1. Where
The
all these
resolution.
films that were like, they're just okay, and then suddenly you're like, oh man, Captain America the first. Everyone loves Captain America the first Avenger now. The OA was one where it just finished. I'm sorry.
No, you're
I'm
good.
almost
You're
done.
good. Go ahead.
It just finished at season 2, and just a couple days ago, they announced that one was canceled.
They announced
It's
a lot of
another-
stuff recently that's just not.
It's
coming
another
back,
on the
yeah.
chopping block at Netflix.
Haven't they had a lot of like really
Tons of
popular
cancellations.
Yeah, that are popular because like
Well, they've come
wasn't
to the-
that one
they've come to
they
the
had?
end.
Hold on,
It's-
Ethan.
This was not. This was one that the Britt Marley and the
No, I
creator
meant
the
some of the
show-
other ones.
Oh, sure. But Britt Marley was like, we've got a season. We have a 5-season plan. We have like an outline for this. And when a lot of people say that, you're like, oh, I'm sure you do. This was one where it's like clearly the way that the story is being written. 5 seasons made sense. Like if you see the show,
I've never seen it.
It
You
makes
see
sense
it,
to
yeah.
you
I
that
don't
you're like, I exactly understand what they mean by 5. Like I have the plan in my head where 5 seasons we're going now. Like that's how good this was and how great they were doing at the writing and the foreshadowing and everything.
Well, wasn't it okay? If I can interrupt you for just a quick second, because there was that one that they had. It was like a show like Heroes, but it was like very LGBTQ positive.
I know what you're
something
talking about.
7, I think it was.
Shit, because I actually mentioned this to someone. Sense8.
Sense8. Yeah, that's what I was
That's
gonna
it.
say,
Yeah, because I think it had 2 seasons and then it got
2
canceled,
seasons canceled,
and then it got
huge community backlash,
and then they got a
made
movie.
like a Christmas special,
Right.
like an hour and a half long movie.
Right.
Essentially, they literally call it the Christmas
Sure.
special in there.
They do
in
that
the
a lot.
episode
Yeah,
discography.
Yeah,
a bunch of
And-
people have done that. Yeah.
and that was one too where back then when that got canceled, it made a bit more sense because the big issue with that show is for people that don't know, the Wachowski siblings were the ones that were directing and created and spearheaded the show. Incredibly expensive to produce. Like they were globetrotting, like everything was on location. If they were like, we're in Tokyo, Japan right now, and just like Heroes, we're in Berlin, we're in LA or whatever. They literally like would move the entire crew around the world to shoot this show. So that was one where you're like, that sucks because I know that the people that like it are like in it, but I get it. Like they've done a good job
invested.
at tricking us that they're an upstart company, and so you look at it like I get it. But the OA was not a super high budget show. It was sci-fi and stuff, but nothing about like the set design of the characters and the special effects.
Cool special effects here and there, but it was
Nothing like they weren't globetrotting to make this show.
Maybe
Exactly.
people just weren't watching it. I don't know. Like
Potentially, but yeah,
I mean, they could
clearly
have just been upset that they were canceling something. But again, just because you guys think it's good doesn't mean that people were watching it.
No, I agree.
Like I understand, but if you look at Netflix's international base, because like what we see is not all of the Netflix original stuff that they have. There is stuff that is only regional.
That's what I was saying. Is Star Trek Discovery is a Netflix original in Europe,
yeah.
and around the world.
So
Better Call Saul everywhere but the United States. It's a Netflix original because
really?
it's distributed. It's not broadcast on television. It's distributed on Netflix.
That's cool.
And it's the same here. There's a bunch of like Japanese dramas and television shows
that they have
and
translated for us.
and stuff like that where they call it Netflix original.
And they have a huge
lot of anime.
They have a huge Bollywood and Indian base on there that we see in recently added all the time. And I'm sure even over there and in the specific places we're talking about, it's even grander.
Yeah. But when we talk about shows that are being canceled, those are true blue Netflix produced originals.
Yes. Sure.
Like if Netflix will never cancel Better Call Saul.
Right, they didn't
would
make
say,
it.
I guess we don't want to distribute it
Yeah,
anymore,
they
but
just
AMC
distribute
will,
it. No, I
will
get
just
what
put
you're
it
saying.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's the original programming that I think is becoming an issue because that gets back into our talk about distribution. If it's just a distribution problem, if they say let's pick Better Call Saul just as an example.
Well, I'd rather pick up something that, like, what about something that's successful? Like,
Better Call Saul is very successful. It's
right,
the
but
follow-up
it's not a
series to-
Netflix original. That's what I'm
It
talking
is in
about.
the U.S.
Right, but it's
But
not
that
like
was what
Netflix
was-
didn't create and write it, and
I know, but
they
what-
just distribute it.
To go through with the rest of my example, the only reason I picked that show is because they say, okay, we're not going to distribute the
Sure.
show around the world anymore.
Yeah.
Well, then what would happen in those countries where it was previously? They'd probably start pirating it.
Yes, definitely.
Because the show still exists.
Yes.
For stuff that's original programming that Netflix picks up, because there was a meme I read the other day where in 2012 a show would get canceled and people were like, oh my God, I hope Netflix picks this up. And now in 2019 a show gets canceled and they're like, oh my God, I hope a network picks this up.
Yeah.
Because it's like nothing, that's the graveyard now. That's the official end point for a show. If you were
Is
produced on
Netflix?
Netflix and they cancel it, Netflix owns that IP.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere
True.
else. They probably aren't going to sell the OA.
No, they're not.
Or
Yeah, I
House of
don't-
Cards or
no.
any of that to anyone else.
Definitely.
Because if anyone was going to saw the potential in rebooting it, it'd be them.
But I mean, shows die all the time. Look at Fox. They're
Sure.
throwing darts at boards over there.
Exactly. And that was
It
something else
doesn't
I was
mean-
reading the other day. Was that,
Sorry, it doesn't mean the company as a whole is failing. Is all I'm saying.
Oh no, I'm
Yeah.
not saying they're failing. I'm saying that is this a sign that if they can't, because what do you go
Short
to
answer:
Netflix for?
No.
if Netflix is no longer picking up other people's programming to distribute on their streaming platform, because NBC wants to make their own, CBS has one, HBO has their own,
basically,
Showtime's an add-on on Amazon Prime. Like, if they stop, because we know that they're not investing in those anymore.
No,
that was why they dropped all the Marvel
they're
shows.
focusing in real like hard,
because like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, all of those were canceled because they were paying money to Disney to license these properties, and they're looking on and so they're consolidating.
Are those going to be on Disney Plus?
We don't know. So the only thing about that is that the agreement between Disney and Netflix was that if the show is that Netflix, it's up to them to, when we cancel it, which they decide to cancel all of them, that Disney can't even begin to plan for what happens next with those properties for at least 2 years from the date of cancellation.
So when was the date of cancellation?
I mean, like, so like for Jessica Jones, since it just only went on Netflix like 2 or 3 months ago, the cancellation was like 2 weeks after it ended up on Netflix. So that would have been August, July, June, May, maybe. 2 years from now would be May 2021.
Yeah.
That's when they can start pre-production on something.
Pre-production.
Yeah, like they're not allowed to start working with these properties on a television show until the end of that agreement, which is 2 years from the end. So Daredevil would go first, then Iron Fist, then Luke Cage, then Jessica Jones.
and that's just because the whole Netflix owning technically the rights.
No, they licensed it.
Oh, license.
Again,
the rights to license.
Was Jessica
I'm just
Jones
a
the last
contract
series?
with-
to
Yeah,
come
that's what
out?
I meant, though. They have the
Well,
rights.
okay.
Season 3 of Jessica Jones was the last of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
No,
Netflix stuff.
But when did it come out?
Season 3 came out like a couple.
No.
months ago.
I meant like when did the first season of Jessica Jones come out
I don't
compared
know.
to like the first one? Never mind. Yeah, it's dumb. Cut
3
that
years,
out.
maybe. I think we were getting one new season a year.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Jessica Jones had the biggest gap between season 1 and 2.
That was the one I didn't watch.
So maybe 4 years ago.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, sorry, it was dumb to bring up.
Because Jessica Jones didn't get a season 2 until after The Defenders.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Jessica Jones showed up before Daredevil, or was Daredevil the first?
Daredevil
No, it
was the
was
first.
Daredevil season 1,
Oh.
Jessica Jones season 1, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. Actually, it might have been Daredevil season 2 before Iron Fist.
Yeah, I
that-
think so.
I
And
think
then after Iron Fist was Defenders and then Punisher.
and
Something
somewhere
like
in there,
that. That's
somewhere in
yeah,
there, Luke Cage
we're about
2.
right.
Yeah.
But my main point was just that, obviously we're not at the point now where like Netflix has to start like pulling together all that
no, they have a whole
money
new.
and
They
like,
have a whole new.
what are we going to do?
phase
Let's pay out our CEOs and stuff. But my question, I guess, is what's keeping people on Netflix? If it's not the IP that they're licensing from other people because they're all going off making their own platforms, they don't want to pay for a lot of big name IPs because they want to focus on original programming. But then if they cancel all their original programming after 1 to 2 seasons,
they're
which is
not.
happening a lot.
That's just
It's
one,
happening
That's
a
just
lot.
a one example. There's
No,
also
that
there's
is just
also-
one example. I have a lot more.
But there's also
I have a lot more.
tons of examples where shows they go past that.
How many?
I don't have a computer in front of me.
You watch a lot of Netflix though, because
Yeah.
we're just talking about us. I'm not saying
Right,
like,
exactly.
yeah.
There's an argument that is equally like with the numbers that you are saying. Like Big Mouths is having another season that's coming out, and they're contracted for I think 2 more seasons.
Yeah, 2 more seasons.
Yeah, and they had a 2
Great show,
seasons.
by the way.
Yeah, thank you. See, exactly.
It's so good.
They had a 2 seasons before. They've had a special
To
also.
be fair, that style of animation
No,
is
they had- what is
really cheap to make.
But that's we're not arguing about cheap to make art. We're arguing about it being a good show
Sure.
that people like and that keeps them there.
Are you staying subscribed to Netflix for Big Mouth?
Well, yeah, sure, it's a fucking great show.
You are.
I
But
would
there-
say subscribe to Netflix for Big
but there are
Mouth,
other
yeah.
shows that are
That's
also.
why I'm asking because I don't
But
know.
I like the comedy of Big Mouth. So
Yeah.
like I'm not obsessed with the animation of it. So the animation isn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, it
no, I
could
don't-
be. It could be real people. Like,
I don't care about the quality
like
of the
you're-
animation.
but-
I'm just thinking
Oh.
that's
Okay,
one.
I
It
thought
makes
that's the
sense
point you were trying to
I
make.
will
No,
say-
it makes sense to keep a show like that for 5 seasons. Like BoJack Horseman's another one.
Yes.
That's been on for a long time.
I will say an asterisk to my answer is that a lot of my stuff is probably animated.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there are very few live action shows that I stick to and really like.
Yeah, most of Netflix things that I like are definitely like animated for
That's
sure.
an interesting point because that's a lot of the stuff I don't watch. That's why I was curious.
Because I'll also, and some of these might be just distributed by Netflix, but they have the Netflix original tag on them.
Yeah, I was wondering that about like BoJack Horseman, like because I know BoJack
BoJack's
Horse
produced in house.
in house.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I know it's showing up on Comedy Central now.
Yeah, there's a lot of animes
That's
on
probably
there.
because they're licensing. it
Yeah,
out
exactly.
to them.
I just
Yeah.
okay.
There's a lot of there's a lot of animes on there that I believe to be Netflix originals. I'd have to look further to see if that's
They were licensed out or something.
So
it
except for stuff like Neo Yokio or whatever, like the Jaden Smith thing, like that was produced in house, but most of it is stuff where
Wait, Jaden Smith's
it's the
in
same
an
way
anime?
as when like if
don't
like
don't ask.
like
Don't even look into
Funimation
it.
doesn't produce their own anime.
No, sure, but like
in-house.
the show
Was
like
that the-
Baki or Kenshin Ashura, like
those are all licensed properties.
and are you sure? I don't know.
Yeah, no,
What was the one you were posting about the other day in the Slack? That you
Yeah,
like
there was Kenshin Ashura.
Okay,
It was
that's
the
what I thought.
CGI like martial arts fighter.
Yeah, I
one.
watched it. I just skipped through it. It was exactly
It's-
what you described.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, I really like that shit. Like Baki, that it's a manga that's
like-
really gory and bloody, and the fighting that gets you pumped up. You know, the it's got that One Punch Man feel to where it's the underdog initially.
But it's got a lot more death and like.
Yeah, there's a blood and
Well,
stuff.
I mean, could you say there's a little bit more value to it because there's actually stakes? Because I guess with one, I haven't really watched a whole lot of One Punch Man. So.
Honestly,
what was the other one you said?
Baki
I
and
know that one.
Kenshin Ashura.
So Baki is produced by TMS Entertainment Studio. That is not a Netflix owned studio, and it aired from June 25th, 2018 to December 17th, 2018 in Japan. So if it aired in Japan on television, it was not a Netflix
Definitely.
property.
No, you're you just
What was the other one again?
Kenshin Kenshin Ashura. It's another like CGI martial arts fighter. And these are just very specific ones that I've notable. There's like Violet Evergarden. I don't know if that's I doubt
Violet Evergarden's not
Yeah, I
produced
doubt
by
that is, but that's one of those ones where they throw the tag on there so you kind of you think you associate
I think
it with
anytime
Netflix.
like you whenever you're looking at stuff on like Netflix and you're looking at shows and anything like
Kenshin
that.
Shura?
Ashura.
Ashura.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I thought of another one, Knights of Sidonia. I'm pretty sure that is a Netflix in-house one. The Godzilla ones weren't. No. Yeah, those were awful also.
Because you got to remember that Godzilla is a property by Tojo.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
I kind of like the Godzilla ones.
Have you seen the last one?
Have
I
you
don't
seen
think
the
so.
first one?
The first one is actually not that.
That's not what I was
It's the better of the other ones.
I also had it on the background. It's been a while since I watched it.
They
so.
try to do King Ghidorah.
King Ghidorah.
Kingan Ashura,
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry.
and that has a manga, so it's not an original Netflix property.
No, but like I know it's not original because they're obviously manga for both of those, but Netflix doesn't handle like the.
Let's see. The studio is Studio Hibari, and it's licensed by Ponycan USA, which is one of the licensors for Netflix. So no, it's not. It's not Netflix original. But again, that's what I mean. Where there's a shit. They just put Netflix original on anything that they distribute.
Yeah, you're right, and it is a little
and it
confusing.
gets muddy. It definitely gets muddy.
Murky, very murky.
The last one, what was Knights of Sidonia?
Yes,
Just 'cause
Knights,
I wanna
of,
verify
Knights
that.
of Sidonia. There's been a couple of other ones that are.
Well, even then, I mean,
what's the other one I'm trying?
like when they revived Arrested Development. When Arrested Development season 4 came out,
Knights
they
of
said
Sidonia
Netflix
is by
original.
Sentai Filmworks. I'm sorry, Polygon Pictures, licensed by Sentai Filmworks, is not a Netflix original.
So probably most of those animated animes, the cartoon ones, not Netflix.
yeah, their in-house studio, as far as I know, is just for dubbing. They are not like actual. They don't have an animation house.
That's unfortunate.
No, it's not, because so far their animation studio stuff has not been great, in my opinion.
I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't know because everything's apparently.
Like I
got
said,
the-
Violet Evergarden is.
Definitely.
I've been enjoying it. I've been watching the dub just because it's easier while we're working out.
Sure.
There's like 3 voice actors I recognize from Funimation properties, and then the rest of it is just like you all sound the same.
Just one guy.
Yeah, exactly.
One lady.
He's very busy, but
very
he has
talented.
a great work ethic,
It's
and that's
huge
why we use him on
range.
all
His-
24 of our licensed series.
His range is just huge.
Yeah, that licensing issue, that's the thing, and again, I just don't know how much road they have left.
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
again, and I'm speaking as someone who I used to binge on Netflix all the time, and I am running out of things that I care about.
definitely.
These days, if I had to pick, if it like came down to like a monetary reason or something, I would subscribe to HBO way before I would subscribe to Netflix.
Yeah, I go to Hulu way more than I go to Netflix now. That's,
Oh, I know
that's
you
like
do.
my
Every time we
go-to.
come over here, it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia or Bob's Burgers or something.
yeah,
It's been animals lately.
they have a real
Oh, that
problem
too.
also with like stuff that's been on there for years that they have not updated.
Yeah.
Like again, back to the anime Attack on Titan. The first season, I think, is the only thing that's on there. Still only in Japanese.
On Netflix?
Yeah.
Well, that's because Funimation is like they have to get really aggressive when it
Right.
comes to their licensing agreements nowadays, and it's I read all the time. Well, not all the time because I'm not as
Every
weeboo
day.
as people think I am, but I read a lot where people get excited when they didn't used to, that Funimation gets a license instead of Netflix.
Sure, yeah.
Like that's how people feel about the studios that they're using.
Because you can watch
people.
it all of Attack on Titan, English and in Japanese. Like
well,
everywhere.
that's getting weirder these days now
True,
too,
but
because
it's
nowadays Crunchyroll gets the sub and then dub only on Funimation.
Well, I know it's on Hulu, it's on Verve, and it's on
Yeah.
Funimation. So there's.
Well, I mean, when you're watching simulcast though, Hulu gets them a lot later. And then I think
it's all out because it's complete.
what's bumming me out is for this latest season of My Hero Academia that's going to come out.
Yeah, that one's the one that's getting a little.
They're not getting subs on the Funimation one.
Yeah.
It's going to be dub only on Funimation now. It's going to be 3 weeks late again, I think. Like they're going to take the same 3-week gap as Attack on Titan. I might be wrong on that, but I know that they're not also getting the sub, which means if you
enjoy the
sub
voice
or
actors,
something
yeah.
and you're already subscribed to Funimation, you may end up pausing that subscription or whatever. And then you got to jump over to Crunchyroll or something.
See, I always for My Hero, I always just wait for the dubs to come out on Hulu.
3 weeks?
I mean, but like I'm not.
That was what it was like last season, I think, because they got off schedule at the beginning.
Yeah, it started weird like later on in the season, and that's when I stopped watching.
Yeah.
Because it got weird. Like I would come to see
Yeah,
the new episode.
they missed the first episode, and then they were like, "Oh, well, now we got the materials for that, so
Yeah.
we dubbed that one. So this next week is off.
I stopped.
until next
so
week."
I stopped until it was
Yeah.
just all out. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's. I mean, I don't. That's why, thank God, I like to just like wait till they collect, and I don't have to watch week by week.
Some
My
people
Hero's
don't like
so
to do
good.
that. Yeah.
I watch the sub, and then I watch the dub when that
Yeah.
comes out, and I go back and forth.
See,
'cause
that's why I
can't get enough.
I can wait for the sub for the dub to
A
come out.
lot of people
Yeah.
can't wait though.
That's true. Yeah, fucking weebs are out there.
Yeah, we are. We're everywhere. Well, I think that about wraps it up for this week's episode. I know we got a little. This Netflix streaming part went on a little longer than I thought it was going to be.
I
But I'm
really
glad
did
because
like well, go ahead. Sorry.
Well,
I
I was just
interrupted.
saying, I'm glad because that's one of those things I feel like, am I the only fucking person that thinks about this kind of shit? Like, looking at our dark streaming future. And
I think your question was a little loaded. What's keeping people at Netflix?
that's what I want to know.
You're automatically like.
Because what's keeping me at Netflix is that it's not so expensive that I feel like I need to cancel. But I do think more and more where it's like, what platforms am I really using? These days, I go on to Netflix, I turn on just to look and see what's new, and I thumbs up the things I've seen, so they recommend me other
you're
things.
right. I mean,
and then I get to the end of my list, and I'm like, cool, it's time for bed.
There's
I
nothing
never
else-
actually put anything on.
There's nothing else there. Yeah, because there's not much new on there.
Yeah,
I feel
and
like-
also their app still sucks. And it's really still hard to find new things.
Do you ever feel like it's a little bit of like it's a little overwhelming whenever you get on Netflix, especially after you haven't been on in a while? And
Not
like,
'cause I've seen
you
everything.
just see everything that they're like, hey, this is new, this is new, this is a Netflix original, even though it's licensed, or anything like that. I feel that way sometimes. Like
I don't
whenever
know if
I
it's
get on Netflix.
overwhelming. I know that I have a personal problem with committing to shows that I know are longer than 30 minutes an episode. Just because I feel like an hour, because we're all getting fucking old and we're all busy all the time.
Dude,
an
that's-
hour watching a show that I might not like is an
yeah.
hour I could be putting towards a game I know I'm enjoying.
Yes.
And it's like, shit, okay, am I going to make this commitment? And then if I do, what if it sucks? The one I tried the other day was Another Life. And this feeds back into my pissed offness about
one is
the
that?
OA. So Another Life sounds
my
good on
God.
paper.
This is
Cool sci-fi show.
Trying to see if I can,
Aliens
see
pop
the thing.
like an alien ship shows up and it looks like some like 4-dimensional creepy object thing that's like moving in weird ways. It shows up on Earth in like 4 or 5 different locations, lands on the planet, and then turns into like this crystal tower and then just like sits there. And now everyone's trying to figure out, well, why is this thing here? Is it going to attack us at some point? Is this a weapon? Are they not mean? But we need to try to see if we can communicate with them or something. You know who's in it? The fucking
Ricky
guy
Gervais
that played
is in this?
Goku in Dragon Ball Evolution.
what?
And also Justin Chatwin. He's in it. And then this other chick who I recognize is like just this badass like sci-fi action chick who I can't think of her name because I don't remember what I've seen her in, but I know I've seen her in something. She's like a modern day Ripley from Alien.
Wow.
And the whole thing is that like she's in the military on the soldier side and he's in the military on the scientist side, and they're married. And so he stays on the planet to try to figure out how to communicate with this thing with signals, and she has to go off into space to the planet where they know the signal is originating from and that they're communicating. And cool sci-fi, really good budget went into this. Awesome effects, awesome set design. The writing is fucking garbage. It's so aggravatingly bad. I couldn't finish the first episode.
What happened?
It's just every bad stereotype you can imagine where, oh, okay, so she's leading this crew and it's like Alien where like there's a set of them that like wake up before everyone else because they're the ones that are going to be in control of the ship for the remainder of the thing because something happens where it's like their original trajectory wasn't correct and they're like there's a dark matter cloud and so they got to go around it instead. So we're going to slingshot around the sun, which you've only heard in 20 sci-fi movies before. And she's the captain.
This sounds great.
But the captain of that was supposed to be the captain of this mission is now not the captain. But he's totally cool with it because like the people in charge, they decided that you were the one for the job. And he's like super cordial until he's not. Where really he's like going insane and thinks that this opportunity was stolen from him. And she's crazy because she doesn't want to risk the lives of the entire crew to do this crazy
Event
thing.
Horizon?
It's every sci-fi movie you've ever heard. And they decide, we're gonna mutiny against only like 3 other people that like believe in this guy. And they decide to mutiny and like knock her the fuck out. And by the end of the episode, because again, I didn't watch the whole thing. I had to read what else happens because I was like, I just want to know what happens, but I'm not wasting my time watching this.
Yeah.
And by the end of the episode, she like spoilers for Another Life.
Oh wait, no, I want to watch this.
Find better things to do with your time, people. Something happens where she kills the dude that mutinies. But oh my god, every character is just written to be an idiot. And again, the guy is like, we have to mutiny against her because she's clearly she's not thinking straight. She's being emotional, and the whole time he's screaming because he's clearly the emotional one. Is going nuts. It's
so
just
don't watch Another Life on Netflix.
I'm gonna watch this as soon as I get home.
Try it, please. I'm maybe wrong. Maybe it's incredible.
I'm gonna Slack it so I'm gonna be like, fuck
live,
you, this is the
live
greatest
blog
thing.
The shit out of this to
I'm
me.
gonna
Please.
live tweet the first episode.
So I get like 25 minutes in, and I'm like, this is what the OA died for. This is why they canceled the OA because they needed more budget.
Right, I'm gonna also
for this
watch the
trash.
fucking OA because Travis will not shut the fuck up about this
The
show.
OA is fucking good.
I'm gonna
It's
watch
really,
it. I'm gonna
really
give it a
good.
try. I've been looking
I
for a
also
new
watched the
show
second
to binge.
season,
So.
just because
It's good, and like I think the first season's like 10 episodes. The second,
I don't care how long.
It's short and sweet, but they are hour-long episodes. But that goes back to my thing where it's like, man, now my trust is just gone.
My
Because this
binge
is a
power
real
is-
Netflix
is
original.
strong.
This is not a licensed Netflix original. This is someone at Netflix was like, yep, this is what we
great.
want. This is fantastic.
All right,
Here's
well,
$15 million or whatever. It probably costs way
I'm
more
gonna
than
watch
that to make.
both of these shows, and I'm gonna tell you that they're both great.
And that was what was so aggravating. Because on the surface, I'm like, this is incredible special effects. The story seems like
this is
interesting.
animated, right?
No, this is a live action
live action,
show.
yeah.
Oh, that's fucking even. No, not OA, the other one.
Oh, no, both of them. They're both live
Oh,
action.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I'm going to watch both these
I'm like,
shows.
clearly a lot of money went into this, and it's bad. It's real bad. And
This is going to be awesome. I'm
they
excited.
put in the money. They put in the. You can cut that out.
no, we're keeping all of that. I told you, I
Yeah,
don't have time for that
this
shit
is a
anymore.
great episode. This is
So-
good. This is all great.
Anything else, guys?
No.
Any final thoughts?
No.
Watch Rocco's Modern Life on Netflix.
They have
There's a twist. Yeah, it's a good one.
And it's a good one.
You can't help yourself. Why say there's a twist? Why not just let the twist happen and let people appreciate the twist, not knowing there's a twist?
Because it's not just another like episode of Morocco's Modern Life. I think there's actually a purpose in this special. And
The spoiler bros here with us tonight, people.
spoil
I hope
anything.
everyone enjoyed this episode 11 of the Absent Minded podcast.
spoil anything.
Each and every Friday at 10 a.m., you can catch new episodes of the show. If you like video game movies half the time, like we seem to, you can also catch our Absent Minded Watches special episodes every Tuesday at 10 a.m.
Where I
on-
host.
where Ethan hosts. He does a great job. Just the
I
outros are a little
try.
iffy. You can catch all of those on absentmindedpodcast.com or your platform of choice, wherever you consume your podcasts. I'm at Ray Charlazard. With me, as always, is at Andrew Loves Video Games and at Souls Bjorn. If you want to leave us a voice message, we have all that stuff activated on our website at absentmindedpodcast.com. You can leave us a voice message, ask us for a certain topic, write us a poem. I would like to get a poem. I keep saying a poem every time. I just want a poem.
I'd like a poem.
I'd like a poem.
How about a rap?
Ooh, a rap.
A rap would be great.
Give me $1.
Beat or no beat? We could put a beat to the rap. We can.
If you
just write
give
some
us a
lines.
rap and $5, I will rap it on the podcast.
Yeah, the $5. Our listener support program is active as well. You can contribute $1, $5, or $10. It
Or
is
a
a
dollar.
monthly
I just want a
subscription, but you
dollar.
can cancel
Actually,
it at
give
any
us
time.
$1 and I will rap on the podcast.
There you go. Ethan or Andrew will write you a rap for only $1. And that is
I will write you a rap. I will attempt to rap on the podcast.
Now, can we have you commit to that being a license-free, fair use rap? Like, if this is hot shit, if this is like the next $1 million single,
yeah, this is the next Old
would
Town
you
Road.
let whoever donated that money use that in the future?
Absolutely.
$1 rap. All right, people.
What episode did we sing in? Was that last?
That was
episode?
last
was
week. That was
last
episode
week's
Did you
episode.
leave that in?
I did.
Awesome.
Yeah, he
Drew
did.
put it on.
Awesome.
I posted
Drew
on
put it
Instagram today.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
Which I was so happy I remembered about the
I
record
don't
feature
really
on.
suck. I don't really suck. The guy
Travis
say that
really
I suck,
sucks.
but I know that I don't really suck. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. As always, tune in next time, and we love you.
Take it easy, guys.